Things with Gvardiol are heating up. Ziyech latest news with AC Milan and links to Denzel Dumfries from the Netherlands. Let's see what's going to happen today and more in the Casually Chelsea show. Welcome, guys. This is Casually FC. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I'm accompanied here by Real Chris, Big Man Kai, and myself, Marshalldbdx. And today we're going to get right into it and start talking about the very first thing I want to talk about, which is the rumors about Micheal Edwards. So apparently, there's been rumors that Micheal Edwards is close to joining Manchester United, and here we have Simon Phillips and Jacobs Ben, Ben Jacobs, basically denying it. Micheal Edwards close to joining Manchester United is incorrect. He's on a break and with no decision on the next role yet. So, just to clarify stuff about the Micheal Edwards thing, we're linked with Micheal Edwards. Apparently, things are going well, and there's a potential that he could sign with Chelsea as a sporting director, right, guys?
Yeah,
after the summer. Yeah, the ex-Liverpool guy. He would be our sporting director.
I would take
and yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know about the United stuff. There could be some truth to it, but it says here Ben Jacobs pretty much saying that there's been no confirmation, nothing like that. I don't think, other than Chelsea, I don't think he's been really negotiating with anyone. So
that's true.
That's that. We'll make that one quick. We got a lot to go over today, so yeah, we'll make that one quick. Quick one on Chelsea player updates. So here we have Nazar Kinsella reporting that Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Wesley Fofana are stepping up in their respective injury recoveries and hope to be fit to face Bournemouth, which I believe is the 27th when we come back to the Premier League. Is this exciting for you guys to see these guys come back to the team? Do you think it's going to help us a lot, or do you think we're still going to have the same issues?
I'm not excited. I'm pretty sure we lost our last game. When we go back to Chelsea, it's gonna be the same old
pressing man. Yeah,
we got the same players. Sterling, he's kind of been in a not rapidly, but like a bit of a down form for Chelsea. Ben Chilwell is still recovering from his big injury. I don't think he's looked the same. Fofana's had a big injury again. I'm not excited, but I would be excited if we win like 4-0 or something. But yeah, I take that.
But you don't think these players will make a big difference in our team if they come back?
I don't think so. I think we're in a long season. Reece James has come. Wait, I didn't even see Reece James. I'm excited for Reece James.
Ben Chilwell, Fofana.
I'm excited for Reece James because I love Reece James. Yeah, I'm excited for Reece James. That's about it. Like, I don't think Sterling's been playing that well, so I don't know. Maybe he'll do well. Is he flown over back to England now?
Yeah, he went to England today.
Yeah, because obviously he's had bad news. Like his house has been robbed. It's not looking good in London at all.
It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
No, it's just like there's so many robberies happening in England, and yeah, it's happening quite a lot. It
happened to Reece. It happened to someone else too in our team, I think, right? But it happened to Oba, but that was in Spain. But I don't know. It wasn't in London.
Yeah, I think it was in France, actually, in Paris.
Oh, in France, not even Spain. I just thought it was Spain because he was playing for Barcelona at the time.
That was an accident. I kicked myself out.
Yeah, it's all good, Chris.
I pressed refresh.
Kai, what do you think about these guys coming back? Do you think it's good news? You think it'll help Chelsea a lot more, or do you think we're still gonna have the same issues?
I think we still have a lot of issues other than, the Reece James is the only one that I'm seeing okay, that's going to cause a little bit of a difference. But when it comes down to it, defending is not really our issue. Our issue is creating, scoring goals, big club things. That's our issues. Our issues is not really, we have been conceding a lot of goals, but it's also because of the team has been kind of meh in both midfield and in attack. And I don't know, man. The only thing I'm kind of optimistic about is the Nkunku news, which I guess we're going to talk about later on. But
yeah.
As far as the returns of these players, other than Reece James, doesn't really move me, to be honest.
Gotcha. All right, well, and yeah, Carlito, I saw that. It's what it is. He's a toxic part of this fan base. But we continue. On to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is we got some new blood. Small news to start things off today's show. But this is also I forgot to mention. I'm sorry, guys. Lewis Hall Yeah, Lewis Hall got promoted to first team, which look, I think he deserves it. I think we talked about it. No, we did talk about it here on stream before, where like Lewis Hall isn't anything outstanding, but the standard for Chelsea has been so poor that a solid performance from a player like Lewis Hall is enough to like really stand out in this team. And you know what? If no one else is going to step up and play as well as Lewis Hall, play as solid a performance as Lewis Hall can, which I think should be the standard of Chelsea, he deserves to get the promotion. I don't know if you agree with that, Kai or Chris.
I do actually agree because we've had a lot of injuries. Cucurella's been not the same because obviously he's had a bit of a was it tonsillitis he had out and he lost a lot of weight. Chilwell obviously hasn't looked like that great this season either. So and he's every time I see Lewis Hall play, he's played really good. Like I think he's like our man of match against City. You know, he's actually I say he's like the Timo Werner 2.0, like with his movement. And I think his movement's actually incredible for like a midfielder or he's a left back. 'Cause he is actually a midfielder. So I wonder if we do play him in midfield too, because we are like low in depth in midfield. So maybe he can come in there as help for that as well. As a
You think he'll play as an 8 or like as a wing back?
As an 8 or DM or left wing back, one of the three. Like he'd be the.
Okay.
Well, he does play midfield, doesn't he, Andrew?
That's not Andrew. That's Carlito.
Oh, I
Sorry,
can't see.
the banner's in the way,
I thought it
sorry.
was Andrew, like, because I heard that type of laugh at me before. So
Yeah.
Well, Lewis. The funny thing about Lewis Hall is that he can't wear underwear. His balls don't fit. I fucking love Lewis Hall. I think he's good, man. I think he's good. I don't think he'll ever play midfield for Chelsea, but he'll play some wing back, no doubt. Midfield though, I don't think so.
he is originally a midfielder, though, isn't he?
No, I know, but he got into this team
That's
not
an
as a
interesting name.
midfielder. He got in as a wing back, and that's, you know what, it works for me because he played against the best team in the world and he didn't blink. So
No, what I like about Lewis Hall is like his work rate's really good. So you know, you know, the proper Chelsea love that anyway. But his movement, like into the box and everything, is actually really good. The only thing he had to really work on is his finishing, like his shooting, because
oh yeah,
that's why I think that's why I call him the Timo Werner 2.0, because he's got the Timo movement and he can defend and all that. So he's more like, I guess, useful because he's actually playing wing back. But he actually does look good, and I welcome. I do welcome, because literally we're in the mud right now. We can't get any worse, can we?
I mean,
injuries are part of that.
I mean,
the excuse, but it's the truth.
I don't think we get any worse, Kai.
Chelsea are gonna be like, hold my beer, man. It's gonna.
Yeah, they could.
I'm just thinking, what can he do any worse? And these players, like in this squad, can like do any worse? Like he can't do any worse than that.
Not to speak.
I mean,
I will speak on it.
You gotta say, I mean,
Him and Reece James are gonna be our saviors and wing backs, man.
you gotta say that Mason Mount not playing today drastically improved England.
I mean, him not playing for us improves us too, but people don't accept that fact either, man.
Let's go backstage then, yeah? We'll go
Oh,
backstage.
no.
I'll let Minerals do the talking today. But yeah,
People actually gonna think we have Johnny one day. They're gonna keep hearing that voice too much.
We'll point out the obvious, but it's whether or not you guys want to listen. That's up to you guys. But
I think
For
he's
sure.
so jealous at Miz for landing Tony Mount.
He is. I think he is a little bit jealous, man.
Of
I can see that.
Yeah, because he thinks of Tony Mount probably think of Johnny like an Antifa member, bro. Like he's like
Seriously, bro.
He wants
He
nothing to
is
do with him, bro.
extremist. That's so funny.
yeah, the way he dresses up, yeah, actually, funny enough.
Oh, it's all black, bro. All
Yeah,
black, right?
always black. Yeah, just need the face covering.
Just get him a
But-
mask and send him to Seattle, Washington.
He's ready to go. Yeah, pretty much. But all right, boys, I did want to mention this. I got ahead of myself before, but let's go ahead and talk about the new blood that I'm talking about here. No.
God, no.
This piece of news here is interesting. Chelsea are set to continue their youth revolution with the signing of Andre Santos. The Brazilian
Revolution,
midfielder
bro.
is in advanced talks over 12 million over the move to Stamford Bridge after interest from PSG, and this is coming from Nazar Cancela. More info right here. Andre Santos, the 18-year-old who is likened in Brazil's Newcastle Bruno Guimaraes, is in advanced talks over a January move after the Blues stole a march on Paris Saint-Germain. I don't know what that's supposed to say. Chelsea co-owner Todd Bowley and Egbali, I'm just going to say that, encouraged Academy Director Neil Bath to pursue a deal for Santos as part of his 2030 vision to find overseas talent to fit the level of homegrown players. Chelsea are also discussions to sign 16-year-old Brazilian star Endrick, but face serious competition from PSG and Real Madrid. Thiago Silva has already met with Palmeiras forward and his family, Chelsea's Cobham training ground, in a bid to convince him to reject rival clubs. And then Chelsea also competing in 50 million move for Christopher Nkunku, which this is kind of old news, but we'll talk about Nkunku. But the youth revolution, Kai, as in we bringing in all these new players, Zakarian, we have Cassidy, Hutchinson. We've been going for a lot of young talent. Hutchinson?
Shouldn't we first kind of sort out our 11 before we start making it like a kindergarten middle?
I think we're doing both.
I think we're doing both.
I do kind of agree.
Other than the Nkunku thing, I don't know, man. For me,
I take Jude Bellingham as another youngster.
The position that we are in right now, and the fact that we are basically becoming Brighton, we might as well just change that fucking lion to a seagull, man. And it doesn't look good for us, man. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to be optimistic.
I think part of it is because of Potter, because I don't know if you were here, Kai. I don't know who talked to me about this. We were talking about how it's hard for older players to respect younger, inexperienced managers, and whereas if you get the younger players, they're more likely to listen and follow tactics and such from more like a manager like Potter. So it could be in part of it that the fact that we have a manager like Potter and not like a Jose or like Ancelotti or someone who's more established, Tuchel, for example, that maybe we are working on a starting 11, right? Like more established players, but at the same time getting younger for a future project so that we don't have to spend so much money. And what I like about it too is that we're getting young, sought after prospects rather than relying on Cobham, which is what we were doing for a while. So I don't know if that changes anything for your opinion, Kai, but I mean that's my 2 cents.
For me, Marshall, for me the issue with the fact we're looking at all these youth players, at least me, I see a lot of holes in this team in every position almost, in the attack, in the midfield, in the defense, in the goalkeeper now, because Mendy, man, that guy, man, Jesus Christ. So we need a lot of players, man. For me, we're getting distracted by the youth when the reality is our team is we're in 8th position. I know a lot of people don't want to accept it. They're trying to be like, oh, it's the injuries at this and this. We're just not a very good footballing team. Even when we didn't have injuries, we still weren't good. We were scraping through wins. We haven't really improved since the Champions League, man.
You know what? There is one thing I do like. Whatever his name is, Santos. I know his last name. We are scouting players we don't hear of, and they're not exactly really expensive. 12 million is nothing. I don't know who this guy is, but he could be someone really good in a couple of years. But
he also can be that guy we signed. I forgot his name, man. What's his name? People say that he's gonna be. No. He's from 2013. We signed him. He was the next biggest thing, man.
Oscar.
No, not Oscar. No, he's completely unknown, man. That's people in the chat. You guys don't know who I'm talking about. He has blonde hair. He was Norwegian or Danish, and people were
talking about Sherla. Oh no, Marco Moran.
Yes, there you go. That's the one, man.
Carlito, proper Chelsea.
Oh fuck yeah, bro. Hey, so let's have it right. I want to say one thing. So I have a really good friend, Jess Frota. She lives in Brazil. She's obsessed with, Serie A and Serie B, which are the first and second divisions in Brasileiro. And this kid, she swears by him. He's the best player in the second division. He's very, very good.
Wait, Carlito, are we talking about Santos?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And so she's she's obsessed with Chelsea, and she says that it's an outstanding acquisition by us. So this is someone I definitely trust.
Okay. Well, there's no here we go yet, as far as I can tell. They are in advanced talks, so hopefully this does go through. And like I like that we're doing both at the same time, not just focused on youth, but we're also trying to get Nkunku, Gvardiol, Dumfries. Like there's a lot we're gonna talk about today as well. So I think I get where Kai's coming from. I think it's possible to do both at the same time and
Marshall,
be able
we're
to have
getting in on the
backup.
ground floor, man. We're getting in on the ground floor before these players are 50, 60, 70 million dollars. It's not altruism. We're just getting there early. It's just good business. I mean, in 2-3 years, these guys are all going to be really good, and we're going to be happy that we did it. But 2-3 years is a long time away, and nobody's patient in football. So
True, especially our fan base. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. News on Ruben Loftus softest cheeks. So
The softest of cheeks, man.
that's a
softest
new
of cheeks.
one, Marshall. That's a new one.
Yeah, so AC Milan have interest in Ruben Loftus Cheeks and are increasingly willing to exercise the clause to. Oh, Chelsea are willing to exercise the clause for his deal to end until 2025. I know some Chelsea fans want Ruben out. I don't really understand why. I mean, I get why, but I don't understand why it's so important to them when we have other positions to focus on. But listen, I think for me, Ruben is the least of our issues. I think he can stay here and still be a utility player, like how he's kind of been used just to fill in positions that we need filling in when there's injuries and such. Yes, he still needs to work on. I don't even know if he's gonna work on it anymore because it's just like, it's Ruben, right? But yeah, he definitely needs to. I don't know why. Prime, why are you dancing, bro? What's going on? Prime's having a good time over there, man.
I say move him along. Move him
Stop
along.
with the glue, man.
It's time to go.
It's time to move Ruben. It's time to move Ruben along, man.
You think so?
Yeah, like he's
Talk to me. Why?
He's 26, 27. He's not really made like in this team properly. He's had a few games here now. It's like I feel like this is like the same situations, like almost like Jesse Lingard, except he doesn't do a load of dance moves and all that shit. So I think it's time to move along. Is he how long has he got a contract here for?
I
It's
think
like
it
a
would
year or
probably
two?
end. It might end this summer, and they want to. Based on this article, it seems like they want to extend it to 2025.
It's just like moving along and getting new midfielders in. Like I just think it's time at Chelsea. It's not
But you don't
like,
think he'd be a good squad player?
I
They're
don't
not
think he
paying
does.
him tremendous amounts of money.
Yeah, I know, and I think that's the reason why, because he doesn't really do that much, always getting injured or whatever. He hasn't got injured in a while, but like, I'd just move him along and move to more different midfielders in, like Santos really, moving the young.
All right. I mean, do you guys care at all about Ruben Softest Cheeks? And I'm not like trying to slander
don't
Ruben
care,
Softest Cheeks. I like Ruben. I think he has a place in the team, not in the starting 11, but in the squad. I'm just, I like to say Softest Cheeks. I think it's funny. But, I mean, I get it that most of the fan base probably don't really care about Ruben, but the ones that do seem to want him out like almost immediately, which I think is a little weird. I don't get it personally. But
It's not like I want him out, but it's just, is there any point really having him here any longer?
squad player.
We can get like different squad players, like younger ones who might actually, do like well when they're 25 or something. Ruben was like a promising player when he's like 22, 23.
I see where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
and then and he's not hit that, and it's just time to move him on. Like I like him, but I just don't. Yeah, like just no point having him in here really.
Oh, I get why. Okay, Prime. I understand now why. Yeah. Yep. I get it.
Hold
Long
on,
live
hold on,
Kepa,
hold
I
on,
guess.
hold on. Do you guys think so little of me that I'd be dancing on because Mendy had a disaster class?
I literally just saw you put a
Yes.
rating of Mendy of a 2.7.
Guys, Oliver and the rest of you guys, have some shame. That's not why I'm dancing. Have some shame.
That is
Why are you
precisely why you're
dancing?
dancing, Prime.
Have some shame. Have some shame.
Why are you dancing then?
Honestly, I don't know why, but
This man. You just heard reggaeton in the background. I was just going in.
Hey.
Hey, but anyway, yeah.
Oh,
If you
my
want to
days.
speak on, Mendy's masterclass, let's speak on it, man.
Is this prime? Is this prime?
It wasn't really down to him, but it's down to the defense,
Prime.
really.
Prime, the stage is
Oh
yours.
my gosh.
Go ahead. Have your
That's a
say.
nice picture,
King
that is.
Giroud.
No,
That is
no,
a nice
no.
picture.
No, I don't want to speak because everything I will say is things I said before we even signed them. So, Marshall, you can go. It's your channel. You're the boss. You speak. You speak on this guy.
Prime prefers not to speak.
Marshall, you
Oh,
speak
my
because
days.
when I speak, I get attacked. So
No,
you
Brian, when you
on
speak,
this.
you ask questions, man, and we don't have time to answer them.
Yeah,
So
dude,
leave
you
me
go
alone.
through like this whole
Actually, no.
rhetorical analysis.
Kai, I do have one question. Is Mendy
I
still
know.
still a world class
Here it
goalkeeper?
is.
Are we still
First of all,
doing this?
did I say he's world class goalkeeper?
I didn't say you said
don't
it.
think Kai
Chelsea
ever
fans
said
did.
that.
I didn't say you did, Kai. But Chelsea fans, that's the consensus people
It
had.
just seemed like it was
World-class
kind of
goalkeeper.
like,
Yeah.
targeted, you know.
Kai, the world doesn't revolve around you. This is my time.
You just asked me, said Kai, and then you said the question, bro.
Let's go.
Marshall, how about this guy's rhetorical dialectic?
This
He's
is
going
this
through
is
whole fucking thing.
this is the biggest. I've never been more happier about a player's downfall since Kante, man. I'm so happy, man.
Yeah.
So you were dancing for.
Hey, I'm so happy, man. Hey,
It's everyone.
just know, Mason Mount, I'm coming for you next, man.
Oh,
Hey,
bro,
you know
Why?
what?
Why?
I can-
Why
I can- I can back
Why
that
do you
one.
want the downfall of our
Let's
players,
go
huh?
backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Going
Like,
backstage, Prime.
what did Kante do to you?
Hey, I won against Frank. I won against Kante. I won against
won
Mendy.
against Reece
I'm
James.
3-0,
You
man.
won against
I'm
Reece
3-0.
James, and you didn't. You won against Reece James.
I
and
didn't.
you failed.
I didn't
You
win
failed.
against Reece James. Reece James is
You-
fat. I won by
You didn't
default.
win
I won
against
by
Lampard.
default.
Lampard just had an own goal, man. He's a shit at his job.
Hey, I won. Hey, a
Oh
win's a
my
win.
God.
A win's a win. A win's a win.
No, you won against Reece James.
Andrew,
Then Leal's gonna put him in a split.
Andrew, hold that. By the way, hold that.
What?
Hold what?
Hold that. This
Hold
guy,
Why
Marshall,
are you
make him
taking
big. Make him Andrew big. Big screen.
What?
This guy
What are we-
was king of the Mendy prop. When Mendy came in, this guy was trying to speak to me
Alright,
about
hey.
Mendy. Hold that.
To
hold
be
that.
fair,
Hang on. First of all, Mendy played well, which you said he wouldn't do ever for us. And he actually
I didn't
played.
say. I never said
No,
ever for us. But okay.
Hey, let Andrew talk.
No. You can hold that, Prime, because I'm not gonna be like you. I actually supported him, unlike you did from the start. You wanted him to fail.
You
from the
shamelessly,
start.
you backed him.
shamelessly-
You backed him. You backed him. You backed him
Yeah,
because
I
you didn't
backed
like Kepa.
I backed
You
him.
backed him because you didn't like,
Chelsea player,
and that's
man.
what every Chelsea fan did. You backed him because you all hated Kepa, but they're both bad. So what now?
Yeah,
Hold
but
that.
Prime, you say everyone's bad.
Hold-
so I can't tell
hold
the difference
that.
when you're.
But
you don't-
but Surfer.
How are we holding that? Both
Majority of
keepers
our
are bad.
players.
Yeah, so how
The
you
only
holding
thing.
it?
The only.
What are we holding, Marshall? What are
The
we
only
holding?
thing. The only thing I'm holding is my Champions
I'm
League
not
medal.
holding.
I'm
You
not
guys
holding
can
Mendy,
shit.
what Mendy helped us win.
You guys can now. Hey, Tuchel tax, man.
Are you,
Wait,
are
hold
you
on, hold on.
celebrating? Hang on, are you celebrating our goalkeepers not being good?
I'm
You're a
celebrating.
shit.
I'm
He
celebrating.
absolutely is.
I'm celebrating Mendy's downfall. Yes, I am.
You need to find a
Why?
hobby, man.
Why
Try
you
knitting.
celebrating
Because
Mendy?
he's not a Chelsea player. He's at the World Cup.
You
He's
say
a
try
Senegal player.
knitting.
He's a Senegal player. He's a Senegal player. No, he doesn't. I'm not Senegalese. I'm not
He's a
Senegalese.
Chelsea player though.
I'm not Senegalese.
Why are you
Oh my
celebrating the
God.
downfall?
It's
of
World Cup time. Surfer, you should know I'm not Senegalese. I'm not from Senegal.
I
so
never
he's not my
said you
goalkeeper.
were. I'm saying, why are you
Cool.
celebrating the downfall of our goalkeeper?
He's not my goalkeeper. He's not my
That
goalkeeper.
means our
He's a
club is
shameless
doing
man.
bad.
He's not my goalkeeper. He doesn't even start for Chelsea. So
Well, he
I
does.
don't
He
even
started
have
last
this
He
year.
does
cool.
stuff.
He does start, yeah.
Hey,
Bro, why are
Cool.
Chelsea
It is
fans
what it
like
is,
why are Chelsea fans like
I don't know.
Prime? Either way, he's gonna play for us as a goalkeeper. I don't know why you're celebrating.
not my team. Hey, not my team. Not my team.
There's anything
Why
that
you-
Prime
why
loves
you
more
on
than
the-
Chelsea
why you on
winning
the-
is being right.
Anymore. You changed
Yeah.
already.
That's not true, Marshall. That's not true.
It's 100%
I would-
true.
Marshall,
Andrew,
Marshall, Marshall, I would love to be right while we win. I would love to be right while we win.
I like the way the guy saying "hold that" doesn't have his camera on. You know what I mean? Like, should we celebrate?
He was dancing earlier.
Andrew,
Wait.
I have a question for you. Andrew.
Yeah.
Did you watch Kai?
What that he turned up with no pressure on again and played well.
No pressure. What are you talking
There
about?
wasn't,
No
why was
pressure.
there pressure? You're playing Costa Rica. Why is there pressure?
It was a do or die game, and he scored 2 goals and almost had 4
Ooh,
goals.
he scored 2 goals. Great.
Okay, you know what? You're just gonna die on this, aren't you?
I'm
You're just
not.
gonna die on this hill.
I'm not going to die on the hill.
Look at how he's looking at
I'm
you.
not dying on the hill. This
Andrew.
is Everest. This is
Look at how
Carlito,
Kai is looking at you right now.
This is what Andrew does. You know, a player has a few good games, you won't give him credit. He'd rather back Mendy until Mendy becomes a bum. This is what Andrew does, man.
But if a player has a bad game, they'll kill him.
Yeah, this is what Andrew does, man.
To be fair to Andrew, he did switch on the mount proper,
Did you
and
enjoy
we all know
Havertz's
during the mount
performance?
there.
Did you enjoy Havertz's performance against Japan?
Next question.
Oh,
I prefer really not to.
I prefer not to speak.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Andrew, I still love you, buddy, but we
I know.
wholeheartedly disagree on this.
I know.
Oh my days! I do have to ask though, Prime. Would you concede that at one point Mendy was probably one of the best keepers in the world?
Marshall. Here's the thing about me, yeah. I may not like or rate a player, but if he performs well for me, I'll defend him. Last season I was on streams. I was going on streams. I defended Mendy. I was saying world class goalkeeper. I was saying better than. Shut up, Kai. I was saying better than.
I'm not gonna let you lie, man.
I'm not lying.
Lie in front of this wonderful people.
There's streams.
On
No one here
10:30
is
PM.
no one here is wonderful, barring Marshall and Carlito. Anyway, I've been on streams last season defending Mendy when he performed well, but when he started to drop off and become a bum, I called it out. It is what it is.
With a big smile on your face.
Chalobah. Everyone knows I don't rate him, but the way he's been performing, the way Chalobah's been performing, I give him his credit. I do. I'm not like Chelsea fans where they'll keep going on the player's neck even when he plays well. I give players their credit, but if you're a bum, I will call it out. Reece James, big man, lose some weight and get fit. Kante, leave my club.
Wait, who lose?
Reece James lose some weight. What the hell?
Are you mad? He lost like 10 kilos. He lost like 10 kilos.
Chris. Let's have a right. He didn't lose the weight, man. Let's have a right.
Yes, he did. He was a 90 something. He was a 90 something. He went down to 80. He did slim down. He did slim down from last season. He went down to 93.
Wait, Chris, was that his target? Was that his target rate? Yeah.
Yeah, 80 something was his target.
Why are you talking about fat players?
Obese.
He wasn't fat. He's just very. He's very.
You are
He's just
Marshall, I will not let this fly.
I have no idea why you're like so. I don't know, like hating Reece James. He's like
one of the best players in the world.
Oh, Carlito, I agree with you.
I know why.
Carlito,
because
Reece James, Reece James is the best right back in the world. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. However, obese Reece, lose some weight. That's all I'll say.
Well, look, I think that he has a little too much. I think he has a little too much muscle. Because it is
muscle. Okay,
but
cool.
He's not.
Let's word it. No, Carlito, that's cool. Let's word it.
I would love you to say those words in front of Reece James, man.
I would.
Obese Reece James. I would love you to say that. And
say it in front of his father.
His whole family, man. His sister, his dad, him, and
hey, I've never said anything about his sister. Relax.
No,
Chris, why are you trying to? Chris, why are you trying to shame women?
Have you seen his whole family? They're
Chris,
big
why are you
built.
trying to shame women? Chris, why are you trying to shame women?
She's shaped like a
Why are you trying to cancel me?
Chris, why are you trying to shame women? Chris, no. Chris,
how?
No.
Wait,
Marshall.
What you on,
Don't
man?
let this slide.
I live in the chaos. I love it.
Marshall, he is shaming women. Don't let this slide.
How was I shaming, man?
All right,
How am I shaming women?
All right, Christopher Tate.
Explain.
All right, man.
Christopher Tate, he says.
All right, Christopher Tate.
Jesus Christ. Oh, love to see it. All right.
All right, Christopher Tate. All right,
I'll let you have your
even Andrew Tate was never this bad, man.
Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, are we good now? We love the entertainment. You guys enjoying this? Are you happy now? Are you not entertained?
Also, yes. Get rid of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I've been saying this for years, man. Get rid of him.
Yeah. Well, the next
and get rid of
Ruben soft his cheeks. Ruben soft his cheeks. Speaking on Ruben soft his cheeks, let's talk about this guy being linked to us. João Felix. Let's see what you guys think about this one,
I
because
don't
I'm
want
a
him. I
little
don't want him,
indifferent.
man.
I'm not gonna lie. Well, let's see. There is some interest in João Felix from long-term suitors such as Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and Manchester United, and things could accelerate post-World Cup in the January transfer window. This is coming from Graham Bailey. Why don't you want him, Kai? I personally think I don't think he's as good as people say he is.
Yeah, he's extremely overrated, and it's just I just don't like the kid, man. He has a haircut from a 1950s porn star. I don't like the guy, man. I think he's extremely overrated, and I think if we're gonna sign like a big name, like generational young talent, go in for Mbappe, man.
Yeah,
Go in for Mbappe. Why can't we get Mbappe, man?
Get Mbappe.
You did ask me. You did ask this earlier on the Discord, which, by the way, guys, check out the Discord links in the description. I don't know, man, because I feel like Mbappe, it's the ego thing for me, man. But he would easily improve Chelsea.
Marshall, he's gonna.
I'm
play
not
for us.
gonna-
I'm not gonna date him, bro. Who cares about his ego, man? Plus, we need ego at these players, man. These players have no fucking shame, man. They lose game after game, and then they leave like comments on Instagram saying how sorry they are. You know, Lampard had an ego. Fucking Terry had an ego. Ballack had an ego. When we had egos, we had titles to follow them, man. Big players have egos, man. And that's what we were missing, man. A lot of people don't realize this and acting like our old teams were just a bunch of nice guys. No, they weren't, man. No, they weren't. When we played against Barcelona in 2006, you know, like this Chelsea would be giving them hugs, man. After that fucking disallowed goal, man. It's shameless. For me, we need egos, man. This team is too soft. There's too much of nice guys in it.
I see where you're coming from. I don't disagree. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what. Before we go ahead and ask the rest of the panel, big up Miss Melina. Thank you so much for the super chat. Kante, I don't know what the emotes were. I'm sorry, there's no emotes there. But Kante, I guess, is she saying we got to get rid of Kante?
You can have
No,
him for
she
free.
likes
You can have him for
Kante.
free.
Oh,
You
she
can
loves
have him for
Kante.
free.
Kante love.
You can have him for free. You can have him.
Hey, yo, I don't know about giving Arsenal Kante on a free. I don't know about that, man.
Nah, they can have him.
Why?
They can have him. They can
Why?
pay
He
a
has
nice
one
fee.
leg, man. I don't want
On
to
a
hear
free.
him.
On
He's
a
going to
free.
go on a
Yeah.
free, Marshall.
Marshall, David Luiz, Petr Cech, Willian. You can have them.
Wait, Petr Cech was still good from the first year at least.
But didn't
Yeah.
we rob Arsenal? Because didn't we charge him an arm and a leg for Willian, and then he just fucking flopped?
No, he left on a free.
He left.
Oh, he did leave on the free. Oh shit. Well, fuck.
He
Fuck
still
me
did
then.
nothing
All right.
from there.
Yeah, and Kante's not going to do anything for them either.
Like all Kante's gonna be doing is getting injured over there. So like, what's the big worry?
Exactly. So
All
let him
right.
go.
Well, if we want to talk about Kante, let's talk about Kante then, guys. Let's go ahead and go transition to this next part. Fabrizio
Not
Romano,
teaser head.
Chelsea
Let's go.
have still no agreement in N'Golo Kante on new contract. Huge chances for French midfielder to leave as free agent in 2023. Kante would love to stay, but no deal in place yet. Chelsea are already looking at young midfielders. So I guess let me ask you this, because we know we were talking about Kante just now and all that. I mean, Kante, my issue with Kante is his injuries. It's not his playability. I mean, his passing sucks, but other than that, I think Kante does make an impact in this team. Do I want him to stay? No, don't misinterpret that. Please be generous with the way I'm saying this, okay? I would sell Kante, and he can leave on a free if he would like, if that's what Chelsea wants to do. I don't mind. I don't think he suits his team anymore. But I still think he's useful. I still think he's a good player. I don't think he's going to go to Arsenal and be a dead player. I don't know if that's what you guys think.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yes!
I mean,
yes! I love it.
I just saw all just silent man about Kante.
Yeah, he has no. He's useless, bro. He doesn't.
You think
he
he's
can't play.
useless?
He has
Oh.
one knee. If the other knee doesn't work, he's useless. Come on, man. Just throw him away, man.
There's a big reason why I do want him gone, because he's on 290 grand a week to be on the injury like
300,
bed.
not 290, man.
Well, no, I said 290 because I think that's the legit like what he's on, like just under 300k. And he should be, if he's gonna be staying at Chelsea, for me he should be at like 120, 130, whatever. And like as a bench option, like he should not be a main star at this club no more because he gets injured every time. He literally got injured this season coming back to training for an extra 2 months. Like this guy is pretty much done. So I don't feel comfortable
Chris,
seeing
keep
Chelsea.
cooking, bro. Keep cooking, bro.
Saying keep
So-
cooking. Oh.
Keep cooking.
Oh,
You made it sound worse.
Yes.
But
But,
no,
I
I just don't feel comfortable him being on 300k at Chelsea.
No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And if we were to extend his contract, he probably wants something similar or more. And I don't think it's worth it. I just, he hasn't been present enough for the club. But even like, we can even look back to the beginning of the season when he did play. Like, we actually didn't play that bad with Kante in the team. I still think he's got uses to him, but I just don't think it's worth keeping at the club at the wages he's at. So if he goes to Arsenal and he fucking balls out, I'm going to be a little upset about that.
He won't ball out because he's not fit enough to ball out. That's the problem. Availability is the most important commodity for any footballer to have. Then comes their skill set afterwards. He doesn't. He's not worthy of the contract or the sentiment that we give him. That's what kills modern day football clubs. With sentiment, it just kills. It just kills us. And you know, he's been very good for us, no doubt about it. But we've been very good to him. Let's not he's being paid like £10 a week or something like that. He's not completed a lot of he's played like 30 to 40 games over minimum average over the last 4 seasons. It's not enough, and that's why people have this weird skew view of Jorginho that he's some type of bad player. You see him as a bad player because guys like Kante aren't available to play, so that we don't have to play Jorginho all the time. You know, it's Kante. It's the likes of Kante and Kovacic with their injury history that gives people this weird view on Jorginho that he's not a good player when he is. So that's why we got to play Jorginho all the time. We've got to play Jorginho all the time because these two guys are injured all the time. Yeah, they're injured all the time, and that's the problem. Jorginho would look. I think Jorginho would have people would look at Jorginho differently if first of all these two weren't injured all the time, and second of all we bought midfielders in the last 3 or 4 years. Do you know what I mean? And and also we have to play Jorginho all the time because people that come in to replace these guys aren't good enough, like Loftus-Cheek, like a Gallagher, etc. like that. And it's like I would get rid of Kante. I would let Kante leave because it's the right thing to do. If he goes anywhere else, that's fine. Anyone else in Premier League are taking a huge chance signing this guy because he is not going to be fit and available for you. If you're going to sign this guy, sign him as a pay-as-you-play deal, and you won't fork out a lot of money because he won't play a lot. Trust me.
Fair. I think that's very fair. I think that's a very fair analysis. And actually, I think you're making me realize, when was the last time Chelsea actually purchased a midfielder?
2019, Kovacic, 40 million.
Steal.
Not counting loan deals and not counting players coming back off loan.
Yeah.
That was it, 40 million.
That's actually mad. Now that you think about it, that's actually mad.
3.5 seasons ago.
And we haven't put any more money into the midfield on a permanent deal. That is actually crazy now that I think about it. Holy shit, Andrew. Andrew's spitting facts right now. Oh my God. Well, yeah, that is a shame. And I agree. I agree. Like I said earlier, I think we do have to move Kante on. I think it's the very first midfielder that has to leave from this club is Kante. Then we can discuss potentially Kova or Jorginho. I would keep Kova over Jorginho, but it depends on how Kova returns from his injury, if he gets that surgery. Because I still hold to.
I think he wants to leave. I think he
so?
wants to kind of go somewhere else. Yeah, that's what the reports are saying. I'm gonna be sad, man. If he goes, man, I'm gonna shed a tear, bro. I am gonna be sad, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Nah, that doesn't happen. That never happens. It'd be a rare sight or a rare thing to hear that Kai actually shed a tear for Kova, but. Who knows, man? Maybe you'll become a fan of another club.
So you can't
I got them removed.
Exactly,
birth,
same as me. Sign of weakness. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ.
It is.
Toxic masculinity at its prime.
That's what they are.
All right, boys. Let's go ahead and discuss the next topic that I wanted to discuss in today's show. Havertz potentially extending his contract.
Deserved.
Fuck off.
Oh yes,
Fuck
let's
off.
talk
Fuck
about it.
off.
We have Simon Phillips reporting. I am told Havertz has become a bit more settled at Chelsea and is happy here, but his future is still unclear. Todd Bowley, the Chelsea board, and Graham Potter all like Havertz and really want to make it work for him here.
How about he makes it work for himself? How about that?
I don't
How about
disagree.
he makes it work for himself? How about he earns a new contract
Exactly.
by doing something? Yeah?
Mm.
How about he does that? How about all his excuses like, oh, you know what I can do? No, we don't. We haven't seen it. So tell us what you can do.
Yeah, I don't like that he's been responding
Try and
to
do
reporters
something,
like
you
that.
know?
I'm tired of this question of what's our best position and stuff.
We've got to build a team around this player. We never used to build around a team around anyone else. We just had good players. Why do we need to build a team? Never built a team around Drogba, Lampard, and that. We just built a great team. Do you know what I mean?
We used to have players that would build a team for themselves, man. They would build a team themselves.
You know, clubs that build a team around one good player, they're weak. They're weak and they don't win. Do you know what I mean? They're weak and they don't win. It's like even the great Barcelona team, they didn't build it around Messi. They just added good players. They had a set 4-3-3 formation and put good players in those positions. Same as us. But down to Kai Havertz, I don't want to listen. No, he's not earned the right to even speak of an extension at all. Do you know what, bro? How about in one season you try and score 10 league goals? How about that?
That's what I'm saying.
Try and do that. How about you try and contribute for more than 3 months of a season? How about you do that? How about you step up and try and be the player you're supposed to be? Because I don't know where you're supposed to play. Do you know what I mean? That's our problem. Trying to find out where trying to put a formation around these players instead of putting players in a formation. That's our problem. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone's having to sacrifice a bit of their game because a front line, whoever you put in, is just not good enough. And this guy's leading in that. The reason now people are now more on Havertz this season is because Werner's not there anymore. That's why. And I have to say this, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Werner offered more than Havertz ever did in this team.
He's actually more consistent than him. I think he's more consistent.
Yeah,
you know, in the Champions League season, he had more goals and assists than Havertz.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Havertz gets the glory because he scored in the Champions League final. Fine, great goal. Important goal, no doubt. Thank you very much. But you can't live off that anymore. You know, he's generational. First of all, you don't know what the word generational means. He's not had a long enough career for you to call him generational. Speak to German supporters. They do not like this guy. They don't rate this guy.
Not even the manager.
German fans do not rate this guy whatsoever. They don't call him generational at all. He's not like Ozil or anything like that. And people bag on Ozil, but at least Ozil showed something on international and at Real Madrid and parts of his Arsenal career. This guy does nothing. He does nothing. He scores against West Ham this season, shushes us, and then doesn't score for like 5 or 6 games after that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I know Carlito's going to be like, people are like on tweets, oh yeah, you're in the mud. He scored 2 goals. Where was he against Japan? They took him off when they needed a goal. He didn't even come on against Spain. Do you know what I mean? That's all of importance he has. And this guy is now on his 3rd manager, like with most of these players. He's going to get this one sacked as well if he keeps, you know, not performing. He doesn't deserve an extension. He deserves to be sold. But Bayern Munich come in and offer 35 million, snap their hand off and take it. Because he will not, you know what? He will not be good at Chelsea. He will ball out in Germany because that's what that league is. But he is absolute trash. Yeah? Trash.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
With Andrew. I'm in big trouble with Andrew if I speak. But yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't need to be said. I like Havertz, but I will admit that he's been shit this season for Chelsea. Absolutely garbage. Would I like him to stay? Of course I would, because I think he has potential to be a great player. I believe in him, but you're absolutely right. He's been shit. He hasn't provided much. He hasn't shown it. He hasn't deserved the contract extension or any of that stuff. So if he leaves, it'll be sad for me, but it is what it is. I mean, at Chelsea, he has to perform.
But Marshall, if he doesn't like even end the season like better than last season with his like goals or whatever, don't you think like he should just like be sold or something? We should just try and move him along.
Yeah.
In
I
my
agree.
eyes, hasn't he already been replaced? Then Nkunku's coming.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Nkunku plays in
in
that
a
centre
sense.
forward. He plays in that centre forward 49 position.
Mhm.
So to me, Havertz has been
Yeah.
replaced.
But I think like, and I know we're not talking about this precisely, but I think part of the issue with a player like Havertz is that he shouldn't be starting games. Like I know we paid way too much money for him, especially for a player that it's just hype.
He doesn't suit this league.
I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it too is that in this team, in this Chelsea squad, we're just way too reliant on a player like him because we don't have good players
He's not
that
strong
would
enough.
play his position.
He's not strong enough.
Yeah.
He's not got the mentality. He's not got a mentality for a team for him to lead a team. He's not got a mentality. He's not strong enough.
I do think he can become both of those things, strong in both those aspects. But at a team like this, at this level that Chelsea's at right now, if we had like a Ballack and Lampard, Essien, like we had a strong team that we used to have, then fine. Play off the bench, have your minutes, do what we're doing with Broja right now, and develop as a player. I'll wait as long as I need to. But right now, we're in desperate need of replacing someone like Havertz because Havertz is the guy that's starting right now.
I can't believe these reports that even think about them extending him or giving his performance this season. I just can't believe that. I refuse to believe that. I think it's more PR for Kai Havertz.
It could be.
I just can't believe people will look at the numbers, look at the analytics and data and say, yeah, Kai Havertz is worthy of an extension on his contract. Why?
That was a weird
Why?
one, yeah.
Well, how many goals has he got this season? Like 3?
About 3. I think
About
I can't
3,
see
right?
4.
3 or 4, something like that.
How many games has he performed well in? Not moments, but how many games?
Not very many.
Well in?
I think maybe the Tottenham one.
Maybe the Salzburg away game. Maybe the Salzburg away game, but I'm not sure he's good in that one.
You know what's mad is a lot of people like talk about like us, how Werner flopped, how all these guys flopped, but the fact of the matter is we still have the same issue that we had with Lampard, where we're still like stuck mid-table. We're having our issues, so it's time for us to look at the players like Havertz, like the Mounts, because these guys have the issues as well. People say, "Oh, these guys flop, but also these guys are also a huge part of the problem as well." And it shows in the World Cup. The guys who don't play are playing better than them.
Yeah,
they're playing better than them.
Yeah. And I have a problem with that. Yeah.
It just frustrates me that people give these guys so many chances. It's like, how long are we looking?
It's only got one.
5 years?
And
really 3 years? Really into our third manager since this lot came. It's like, why do you think? It's like when I'm reading like, some of the players don't like how Potter trains. It's like compared to Tuchel. Well, you guys didn't show you really like Tuchel by the end of his goal.
Yeah.
So why should we believe? Why should we care if you like what Potter does or not? You're the issue. Do you know what I mean?
True.
It's like, that's the problem. That's the problem at this.
Yeah.
It's like people will give these players so much time. Oh yeah, but he done this. Like everyone's willing to gas someone up after one performance. It's like, okay, do that. For me, I'm asking you only to do it 5 times in a row. That's the bare minimum. I'm asking you to do 5 times in a row. You can't even reach that, which is why I agree with Kai when he goes, the standards will never slip from this club. But my expectations of the players never the same as the standards for the club because I know they'll never meet them. You know what I mean? It's like,
and I think that's a fair assessment.
It's like Kai Havertz, like I said before, Kai Havertz, how about you score at least double-figure league goals? Not double figures in the season, double-figure league goals. How about you do that? Yeah? And earn your contract extension.
Bro, you know what's mad? I've been looking at Hazard's number when he was at Chelsea. And at the time, we were saying, he needs to score more goals. He needs to assist more. But he still has better numbers than all of our attackers.
Yes.
Yep.
Dude,
we're just looking
shows
at
you like the standards, man. And people say, you should give what you have to do is give them time. We have a lot to lose. Like the club will decline if we just allow time for everybody,
I laugh when they bring up Mount's last season, 29 GNA.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched Juan Mata get 53 GNA.
Yeah, and back then we didn't call it GNA. We counted
we
assist
talked
goals
about
separately because we didn't have to kind of pretty it.
In a down season. And when we didn't do well.
Andrew, you know what's so hypocritical about that? Like, Chelsea fans will praise Mount's GA record last season and say, see, he wasn't that bad. But the season beforehand, when I was trying to show Chelsea fans how bad these forwards were by comparing it with saying Werner got 27 GA, double more than anyone else. So which is really the problem? Either Werner's not that bad or everyone else is, much worse than what you guys all think. Everyone wanted to call me a Werner stan when I was trying to prove the point of everyone's bad. But now all of a sudden getting 27 GA is a good thing. Like,
this is
so hypocritical from this fan base. Like, just be honest with ourselves.
Havertz isn't even hitting Morata standards.
Exactly.
17, 18. He's not even hit that yet. And that was pretty bad. Do you know what I mean? Morata started off very well and then died in the middle and stuff like that. But at least he showed something. Havertz isn't even hitting that. He's not hitting that Oscar standards. Do you know what I mean? It's
it's bad when the Chelsea fans are missing Werner. Just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oscar was apparently free this summer or something like that. I'd take Oscar back and re-sign Havertz at this point.
Bro, Surfer, I said that last season in the summer. I said Mason Mount is not better than Oscar. That Oscar has all the work rate of Mount, but better end product. And Chelsea fans tried coming for me, saying that, how can you talk about that? Oscar was shit, yada yada yada. Guys, these forwards are just not it. Can we just be honest?
I'm gonna go. Someone obviously, but obviously subscribe to the channel, please, guys, and I'll catch you during the midweek. But obviously subscribe and hassle Prime on his takes, please.
Sorry, my takes.
Big up, Surfer.
Says the Mendy stan. Says the Mendy stan.
Big up, Surfer, and thanks for coming on. Yeah, guys, let's talk about. We were talking about bench players before. Kai, you mentioned it, and I do want to talk about two in particular. And we have news in reference to their potential moves away from Chelsea. So let's start off with Pulisic. So right here, I have an article from. Who is it from? Actually, hold on. I got this. Oh, this is okay. We could do it this way. Fine. Why not? I think this was a Simon Phillips article. And then right here, we have a quote saying, he says that rumors about interest in Dortmund, Manchester United, and Newcastle are not hot, and Pulisic tends to his plans. However, it appears that Pulisic, if Pulisic receives a good offer, then something could still happen in the winter window, but it looks unlikely. I think it's Florian Plattenberg that reported this. But talks could take place if he receives great and interesting offer after the World Cup, but it's unlikely. So Pulisic, as you guys already may or may not know, is having a brilliant World Cup was having a brilliant World Cup performance. He got eliminated, unfortunately, last night. Then more news here. Chelsea have a number of pretty key players with contracts running down either at the end of the season or the season or end of next season. Either way, they need to start getting on top of some of the contract situations and make some decisions on players. We don't want to be in the same situations we faced in the last two seasons with the likes of Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, and now Jorginho and N'Golo Kante this season. If we are not renewing contracts or getting a sense that a player has no desire to, then we must sell them as soon as possible. Now, on to Christian Pulisic. He has no desire to sign a new contract extension with Chelsea as of now, according to The Athletic, and his contract runs out in 2024. The report does state that Pulisic is happy at Chelsea and in London, but it's more to do with not being a key player here. Chelsea could sell him with an asking price of around £35 million. And then more news from Simon Phillips. If Christian Pulisic wants to go, it doesn't sound like the club will stand in his way, especially factoring in his contract ends in 2024, and they would be keen to get a fee for him. Hakim Ziyech will be allowed to leave if a suitable offer comes in. So it's like we all knew. He's going to go, whether it's January or not, we'll see. Personally, me, if he actually gets to play and gets play time, I don't mind him staying at Chelsea until the summer, and then we figure out a better club for him in the summer because we already know he's not going to stay at the club. The other thing being is that it seems that, I don't know if it's true, he likes Chelsea. He just doesn't like the fact that he's not getting playing time. So I don't know. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? Would you tolerate him until the summer?
I'm gonna go on a small rant right now, man.
Go
Because
for
for
it,
me,
man.
it's just like a kind of a fucking sign that all these guys who don't play for us or on the bench, who apparently are not hungry enough, are the ones who are man of the match for their clubs in the international football. And these bums that we play week in and week out are stuck on the bench, or they either like play horribly in the World Cup. And the thing is, if Pulisic was given the amount of chances that Havertz and Mount has been given, where he would play them regardless of form, he would have been a completely different player. And the reality is, if you look at his goal conversions compared to the minutes played, he's still better than both of them. So for me, it's unfair. And if he leaves and he just becomes amazing somewhere else, it just shows that Chelsea fucked up. And the reality is, Chelsea should be letting Mount and Havertz go, not these fucking guys who barely get any chance and still nothing. Because those guys are the face of our clubs, and we're stuck at 8th or 9th. So it just shows that this is not the level we should be in. And people who are just hating on Pulisic because of what he said, I understand him. I understand his frustrations. You know, people people forget that these players are human beings. They see guys like Havertz and Mount drop stinkers week in, week out, and get game time. Well, these guys play good and they still don't get rewarded. That kills your morale. People don't realize that these guys are human beings. That kills your morale as a human being. Imagine if you work in your job, right? You're doing good. You always get the numbers right. You have good KPIs. Everything is going great for you, and then your boss gives you promotion to someone else, or puts someone else on your project. You're gonna get frustrated. You're not gonna want to play, and it shows in these guys. When they play for the international team, they're hungry. They want to play because they want to prove themselves. But at Chelsea, they're not hungry anymore because someone else is going to play anyway. Why would you put all your efforts, right, and play well if you know it doesn't matter and you're not going to play the next game? So for me, it's just mismanagement from Chelsea's part. I think if we lose Pulisic and he goes and plays really well somewhere else, I think it's on Chelsea, because I think there's a lot of technically worse players in the club that play ahead of him. And I understand why him and Ziyech would want to leave, because other players drop like worse performances and they still get picked, and they have like 1 or 2 bad games and they don't even get the chance to play again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say right there at that end part too, is that whenever they do get the chance to play, they get maybe 2-3 games, and if they drop a stinker on a third game, they get dropped for a Havertz that can infinitely have as many bad games as he wants and still get to play. And I think as a player, it does get frustrating. I don't know, Chris, if you want to add your 2 cents to that.
It's very similar to Kai, because Kai Havertz is literally not done that much in attack. He's only got like 3 goals. I think Pulisic is like near those numbers, and he's barely played. Like he knows actually how to take on a play. He knows how to drive into a box better than Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. He knows how to create better than Mason Mount and Kai Havertz for sure. Like and like Kai said in the World Cup, he's actually had a decent World Cup. Like he's played well, helped his country get to the to the knockout stages. Unlike Kai Havertz is not even like Kai Havertz is not good enough to start over like some of the older players who are not really at it no more. So I wish I don't know, Potter sees give like Pulisic, even as Ziyech. I would love to see Ziyech like fit in this like team, and because I think he could. This like saying he has no pace, and that's the reason why he doesn't fit in the Premier League. He doesn't need to have pace. It's just the system and everything, and give him enough like gameplay, to actually get a good rhythm going out of him. But we don't really see that. He's the only one player who would actually try to like do a good pass, not a good pass, but a through ball out of all our attackers, or just try to create something. So I do agree what Kai said pretty much.
See, the thing is, like, Abdallah, and welcome back to the channel, man. It's been a while. Good to see you around again. It's like Marshall. I'll be so real. I'd get rid of all of them. Every single attacker apart from Sterling can go. I'll be real. The thing is, like,
to be honest, I echo that.
I get it, but like personally, me is like, if I were the manager, I would probably be wanting to get rid of Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, and trying to keep Pulisic and Ziyech, because even this season, the little we've seen of Pulisic, he's played well. He hasn't played bad. Like, he's been decent. And that decent, as low as a level of a standard that decent's better than what Mason Mount and Havertz has been putting out for the club. And look at Ziyech at the international level. And I know it's international football; it's a different type of football. But like, if Ziyech got a fair run of games, even in the times that he has got a fair run of games, he's been good. And then he gets injured, obviously, and that's frustrating in its own right? But he has done well for Chelsea in pretty important games as well. We can't forget the Atletico Madrid game in the Champions League, Man City in the FA Cup, even I think Man City in the Premier League as well. Ziyech has had stand-up performance against Tottenham as well. Who could forget that goal that he scored against Tottenham in the league? Like, Ziyech has done really well for Chelsea in a few games that he's allowed to have. It just sucks that the managers for some reason don't rate him. They don't want to play him, and as a result, players like Pulisic, players like Ziyech want to be out of the club. And these are talented players that, if they get playing time, you could argue they could probably bowl out at Chelsea. But we don't allow it. We stint their growth for players like Mount and Kai.
They can't do any worse.
Look, I don't rate Ziyech at all. I didn't rate him when we played him in those 2 games. I didn't know why Chelsea fans were gassed about him. I knew he would flop. But it's still kind of sad. Like I'm at a point where I kind of just want to see him play, because I'm just sick of seeing Havertz and Mount all the time. And the same with, I guess, with Pulisic. But that's what happens when you don't have a good scout department. You can actually look at players and see which are the right ones to bring in. When you look at what Ziyech did at Ajax, Havertz did at Leverkusen, Werner did at Leipzig, and Pulisic at Dortmund, they're all different profile players, and they had teams that were kind of created around them, built around them to thrive in, which explains why Pulisic does well for the US, Ziyech does well for Morocco. I mean, Havertz still stinks for Germany, to be fair, but at least he scored. Like, explains why these guys can do well for their national teams. And yet, it's still the same. Mount's performances for England is no different from how he is for Chelsea. So long as we scout properly and bring in the right profile of players, that's all I care about. I think Pulisic is actually talented, and I would keep him. But if he actually wants to go, there's nothing we can necessarily do to convince him otherwise. Same with Ziyech. I don't rate Ziyech, but I'm at a point where I wouldn't mind him just playing games, because I trust Ziyech to do more on a consistent basis than I would Havertz now. Like, people can talk, Chelsea fans can talk about how they're not much better, but I would argue that they are, just based on how bad Havertz and Mount are right now, in whether it's their form or their ability or whatever in between it is. I don't care. But how bad they are right now, someone else has to play. Like, go back to Frank's season when people were talking about with Kepa and how bad he was in goal. There's a reason why Caballero played for a few games. As bad as Caballero probably was at that time, Kepa had to be dropped for the benefit of our team, as well as for the benefit of his own mental health. The same thing has to apply with Havertz and Mount. Whatever's going on with them, ability, form, mental health, I don't care really. They need to be dropped for their benefit and ours, because them playing bad and getting abused by Chelsea players online doesn't do them any good either. So they just need to be dropped, and probably even sold as well. If you're a Chelsea fan that rates and loves Havertz and Mount, or any other player in our squad, that's fine. If you truly love these players, then they have to go in order for them to flourish and fulfill their supposed potential, because they're not going to do it here at this club. If
Bro, really fuck them. I want us to fucking flourish.
Kai, I agree, Kai. No, I hear what you're saying, I agree. I'm trying to appeal to people who aren't listening. If you really care about these players, them staying here won't help. If KDB had stayed at Chelsea, he probably would not have become the player he is today, and that would have been to his detriment as well.
Bro, and can I just say this? Yeah. Look at for example, look at both of those, Havertz and Mount. Look at them in the English team. Look at the Mount in the English team. Look how out of depth he looks compared to the other midfielders around him. Look at Foden when he came in and he started playing for that English team. Look how well they are, like in transition and before. Look at Havertz. compared to the attackers that they have in Germany. It just shows they are level above these guys, and these guys are key players for us, which is fucking scary on its own. A lot of these guys don't even start for their fucking clubs, yet they are better than the players that start for us. And our players that start for us are on the bench. Foden took that position for Mount for 2 games in a row now, in very important games. Havertz haven't been on the bench for the last 2 games. Why? Because these guys are not good enough for the national team. Why should they be good enough to play for Chelsea in club football where your nationality doesn't mean that much because you can be replaced? You know, these guys are obligated to play them because they come from that nationality. We're not obligated to play for them, and they're not even started for the national team, and that should be scary because these guys are asking for them to be key players for us.
But Kai, what will happen is they'll come back. And
for me, man.
What's annoying is these guys get picked because of how they do well in training, which I find annoying because I would have thought Chelsea, us being a club that has had Eden Hazard for 6-7 years, and we all knew he was terrible in training. Like the Mourinho spoke out about it, how bad this guy was, not really showing effort, messing about, goofing around. But then when it comes to a Saturday, he drops a man of the match performance. So maybe it's a thing of if Ziyech and Pulisic aren't showing anything in training, fair enough. But maybe play them for a run of 6 games and see what happens.
Yeah,
Play them
that's the thing
consistently.
too. Like, I don't mind like if you're playing Mount and Havertz because they train well. That's fine, but that can only happen so often before you realize like, oh, it's not translating to the pitch. I have to change this up. Like that's fine. If they train well, as a coach, I would probably start players that train well too. But
they give you points
again,
for training, man.
Exactly. They don't give you points for training, and I need the points on the pitch on a Saturday, on a Sunday for the Premier League. Like, if you're not showing it on the pitch, then what the fuck is the point? Train as hard as you want. You'll get another chance to play, but I got to start these players that they haven't had a chance, and I need something to work, and you're not giving it to me.
You know what's mad about it? People are saying, like, oh, yeah, we're in transition. Do you guys remember how hard it was for us, the transition we were playing Europa League, to buy decent players? We got the backups for other players we wanted. We got Kepa, we wanted Alisson. We wanted a good striker, we got Morata, because we couldn't compete with it because nobody wants to play Europa League. And people are acting like, oh, it doesn't matter if we go to the Europa League. We're going to attract players fine on transition with new owner, you know, without anybody knowing exactly where we stand. People are just thinking like transition means let's just fucking go like ass up with everything, you know, just like let's just free fall. But that's not how it works, right? Because there's still consequences for us not achieving any of our objectives this season. And these guys, if things don't work, move them on. Why should we just like? That doesn't make sense to me, man. I'm sorry, man.
I agree with you guys, and Prime said it best. Listen, Havertz, I love you, bro, but it's just not gonna work out here. I love you. I want what's best for you. I need to set you free. It's not you, it's me. Okay.
But it's not only him though. Like this other dickhead with the nose, man. He's supposed to be a midfielder, man. I see him against like the midfielders.
Dickhead with the nose.
If he plays for Chelsea in midfield, he's gonna get split apart. Man.
People have for Havertz and people talk about. People will say, "Why do you speak about them so much?" Because in my opinion, they are the biggest problem. As bad as we can say, Kante and Kovacic don't stay fit, or we can say Koulibaly hasn't adapted, or we can talk about. Aubameyang missing chances or whatever, or Reece James being injured. In my opinion, the two biggest problems are Havertz and Mount. And if it's a thing of that their profile that they've built up, or our fan base has built up, more than likely the hype around them, these players can't even be turned into squad players because that's their ability, or at least their talent level, or what they've shown the past 2-3 seasons. They should be squad players right now. But they won't be allowed to be made into squad players, or our fan base won't allow us to make them into squad players.
I agree.
That's why they have to go. And also this standing thing culture that has crept into Chelsea has to die, and it has to start with those two. That's why I want them gone. That's why, as much as I do rate Jorginho and I would rather keep him for another year or so, he also kind of needs to go. This standing culture people have, Kante, same thing. The standing culture people have when we're consistently failing.
No, I disagree with Jorginho being the biggest issue, man.
No, I didn't say
Yeah.
he's the biggest issue. I didn't say
No,
he's the
not
biggest
you,
issue.
not you. Somebody in the chat said.
Abdallah said
Yeah,
it. I want to get him
cool.
on, but
Even
yeah,
if you
we'll
want to
see.
say Abdallah is the biggest issue, that's fine. I agree with him leaving as well. So that's
Abdallah,
fine,
you're
by
the
way.
biggest issue, bro.
Everyone,
You can
everyone,
leave.
everyone can go. That's
A
why I
guy
keep saying
who's
everyone. That's why I keep saying everyone can go. People who want to tell me,
Yeah.
well, it's not Mount, and what about Jorginho or this player? I agree, those guys can go as well. Why do you think I have no
Listen.
love for anyone? Why do you think I can openly make fun of like Reece James? I don't have any love for any of these guys. I don't.
But the thing is, like, I don't want to make this about Jorginho, but I'll just say, like, Jorginho can't be the biggest issue because Jorginho shows up to work unlike Kante and Kovacic right now. Like, he can't.
there
You know what I
99%
mean?
of the time.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, what
And
do you expect?
Even when Jorginho doesn't play, we still play like shit. So you can't really blame him. You
It
know?
don't
Yeah,
matter.
so you can't really blame Jorginho.
Jorginho does, whether or not you guys think it's to a high level, those of you who hate Jorginho, whether or not you think it's to a high level, but Jorginho shows up week in, week out. He's always fit. He does his job in midfield without one of his two midfield partners in Kante and Kovacic, who are better than him, by the way, as everyone says.
Yeah,
He doesn't. His the elite creator in our team, which is meant to be Mason Mount, does not create elite chances or create any chances at all. And our goal scorer in Havertz does not score goals. So what do you want Jorginho to actually do? Jorginho scores penalties, and people still complain that he's scoring penalties. So what do you want him to do? We know he's limited. We know he doesn't have taste. We know he can deep in on transition. What do people want him to do?
But I agree with. I think Adala's main sentiment is though that the part of the issue and part of the big issue, a big part of the issue is the midfield, which I agree with Jorginho and stuff.
It is a big issue, but if you watch football, right? If you watch both England and Germany, and then you watch Chelsea, and you watch the players that we were talking about, both Kai Havertz and Mount, and you see them both in transition and on the ball, and you tell me that that these players are good enough to start in any of those respective teams, then something is wrong with your eyesight. Like, you obviously don't see fucking football well. And you can tell me, oh yeah, all his managers rated them, blah blah blah, but all the managers either got sacked or won nothing, or finished 8th or 9th, or like, so it's not like a good excuse. If somebody tells me, oh yeah, you don't rate him, but Pep rated him, and he won Premier Leagues and like over and over Premier Leagues, but people clinch into the fact that we won the Champions League. And these guys, like, their goal scoring wasn't impressive. We won it we won it because our defense was very good, and we got lucky and with that one goal that we scored in the final. It's not something that it's like you can look up. Like, the sample size is too small to be like these guys did it in the big stage. Yes, they won one final from 7. That's not good enough. And that's where my issue comes from.
Jesus,
you can't just say that midfield is the issue and these guys are fine. They're not. Even if we get the midfield, they're not going to start passing well. They're not going to start.
Can I go to what Abdallah said? He said
their concentration won't be. They're not going to be good on the ball. They're not going to be good dribblers just because we're going to change the midfield. That's not how football works.
Prime, before you do that, let me just move on really quickly to the next topic, but it is related to this. I know we touched upon it. Let's talk a little bit about the latest on Ziyech as well. Ziyech, latest news, we have, wrong screen. Hey guys, what's up? Anyways, Fabrizio Romano reporting that there's no negotiations ongoing for Ziyech to Milan. Hakim is appreciated by the Milan board, but they didn't want to proceed with a permanent transfer. Also last summer, doesn't seem like they appreciate you that much as Ziyech, but okay. Chelsea only wanted a permanent deal, so nothing happened. And then other news here, AC Milan would like to sign Hakim Ziyech on loan until the end of the season before signing him outright in the summer. The Moroccan player is ready to accept a pay cut in order to get more game time from Chelsea. So that's I think. Oh, here's another thing. AC Milan are considering launching a 6-month loan offer with a 15 million euro option to buy Hakim Ziyech from Chelsea. The players want to return to being a key player at a big club, and for this reason, Milan hope he may agree to cutting his salary. So, again, we go back to what we were saying, guys. These guys want to play. They have ambitions. They have hunger. They want to start for Chelsea, but players like Havertz and Mount keep blocking their way because of how they train, because of favoritism, maybe because of the fan base. I don't know. But Prime, you did want to address something, and I don't know if this adds to it.
Abs, his third last comment. Nah, the elite chance creator is Reece James. All right, okay. I love Reece James, so no one think this is slander towards him. But if your main or elite creator in your team is your fullback, you are not a good team. I'm going to be real. Like, people praise Liverpool for how amazing Trent is, but I also don't view Liverpool as like an elite, amazing, world-class team. Look at Man City. As great as Cancelo is, he is not the main creator in that team. They've got KDB, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Foden. You know, it shouldn't have to come from Cancelo. It shouldn't have to come from Reece James. Mason Mount should be the one doing it, or Havertz, or someone else. Ziyech, if he's allowed to play. Pulisic, if he's allowed to play. And also, even if it is Reece James, this guy barely stays fit. So what happens then? Are you saying our season will fall apart whenever Reece James gets his annual injury? Is that what we rely on?
And this is the thing that I don't appreciate. Like, and I'm not saying anyone is doing this, but we've seen it in the past with the fan base, with the Ziyech slander, and we talked about the standard here, ladies and gents. It's like with Ziyech, how many times? Kai, have a go on, brother. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Take care, everybody.
All right, have a go on, Kai. Guys, we're probably going to give you the link in chat if you want to come on in a little bit, but let's go ahead and make more progress on the news that we have here before I do that. But yeah, with the Ziyech slander, it's just like our standard at Chelsea has dropped so low that we don't even have proper strikers. And the amount of times that, and Reece is also unfortunately a victim of this, the amount of times that Ziyech has been robbed of an assist is absolutely unforgivable. If we had a proper striker in this team that can put away goals and crosses that are provided by Ziyech, I'm sure we wouldn't have this discussion about Ziyech being a bum at all. I don't think we would even be discussing Ziyech being a flop. Like, this wouldn't even, this world we're in right now would not be possible. Him and Reece James have been robbed multiple times of goals and assists because we don't have finishing in this club. Kai Havertz can't finish. Mason Mount can't finish. Pulisic, he struggled from time to time to finish as well. You know, Tammy wasn't able to do it. And whenever we were playing cross and Shalah ball, for some reason, Giroud didn't play. So it's like, there's context to it too. And it does annoy me because it's just like these players aren't bad players. So when there's slander about like, oh, they're garbage, oh, they flop and all this stuff, like, you realize like the whole team is also a part of that factor. I don't know. That's just like my 2 cents on Ziyech. I don't know if you guys wanted to add anything on that. Chris or Prime.
Sorry, I had to let my dog out.
Yeah, let your Ziyech out.
What? AC Milan. Oh yeah, I think I've been saying for a while actually. You talk about AC Milan. I think the Italian league would actually suit Ziyech a lot though. Like, it's a bit slower. Yeah. He will probably play a lot more games for AC Milan over Chelsea. He barely plays for Chelsea, so at least he's going to get game time. I'd be happy to see him move along because he doesn't. I don't think he deserves to be like treated like this at Chelsea. Like, he hasn't done nothing wrong. I think every time when he comes in at Chelsea as well, he's always trying to do something. He's always trying to create. Yeah. People look at his like his face too much, like being like, I don't know, like emotional. Like, it's like, oh, he doesn't care when they see his face. He just looks like that. He just pulls that face.
And I think Kai said it before. It's like, if you're gonna play right for the team and you just know that the next game you're probably going to be benched again because Mason and Kai are going to take your spot, why is Ziyech going to put so much effort into trying to take the game on his back? I know people criticize Ziyech for trying the same type of creation. It's like, dude, this player is uninspired because he's just not liked in this team. Same thing goes for Pulisic. Pulisic just had those run of games as well where he's just like, doesn't look like he's willing to do anything. And it's probably because in the back of his head, he's like, dude, I'm not going to play. Doesn't matter. Kai or Mount are probably going to get my spot because the coach likes him more. It is demoralizing to a certain extent. So I can't necessarily blame the players for how they play when they come off the bench sometimes, because like, fuck, dude, they're not going to get a chance to play. They're not respected. Look at how, and Oliver, I know you mentioned the comment earlier before about how these players are respected in their international clubs and how they're trusted. Look at how Pulisic and Ziyech are playing for Morocco and USA respectively. Sorry. It's like it's night and day. It's such a huge difference. And I'm looking how Ziyech is playing for his club, and I'm like, yo, Chelsea have blood on their hands for not making this player work. How does Chelsea sign this player, this caliber player, and have him be shit for the club? And it's not just Ziyech. We have a history with that.
I don't know what these attackers are. Like, there's like some, like, you know, Pulisic and Ziyech barely get any time. They could do something, but and then you got, like you said, Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, who just stink up most of the time, and just get, like, you know, countless opportunities, I guess. Like,
and you know what, Mo? Sorry, Chris, interrupt you.
Is Ziyech gonna be
Mo?
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
I would love this, right? Because I do rate Leao. I think he's a fantastic player. But you know how this club has me feeling right now? What the fuck is going to stop Chelsea from ruining this guy too? What is going to stop? You know what I think is going to happen, Chris? You know what I think is going to happen? We're going to have Ziyech 2.0. Ziyech 2.0.
No way. This guy is actually unreal though. Leao is
Ziyech 2.0.
There's no way Mason Mount.
We're gonna play Leao left wing back one game. He's gonna have a stinker, and he's gonna be benched for 5 games in a row.
I'm Potter out if he actually
I hear what Marshall is saying though. Because, like, part of our problem at Chelsea, especially with forwards, we don't actually look and scout properly. We only signed Havertz because we had just come out from COVID. And other teams had a financial loss, and because we had a transfer ban that season, we were okay, and we took the opportunity to sign them. We only signed Werner because of his GA in the Bundesliga the past 2 seasons. I watched Werner in the Bundesliga. I rated him, but I also knew his limitations. We only signed Mendy. Well, actually, no, let's actually just stick with forwards. We only signed Ziyech. I truly believe we only signed Ziyech because Frank Lampard saw the 2 games against us and the wonder goal he scored. I'll be real. I kept saying this, by the way, and Chelsea fans said, I'm a Kepa stan, so they didn't listen to me. But those 2 games we played, other than the goal, what did he actually do during the game? Genuinely, what did he do? He didn't do anything, or at least not for me, enough to warrant a big move. And this is what I'm kind of worried about it with Nkunku. Like, and I haven't watched them a lot, so maybe I don't know, but why do we need to sign him per se? Like, he's quality, yes. Does he suit Potter's system? Because we were looking at Nkunku near the end of last summer, by the way. So,
okay, you're right.
And this is when we still had Tuchel. So, why is Nkunku really the guy that we need? Is this really Potter's guy? Leao. Everyone knows I rate Leao, but is this Potter's guy? Does Potter need Leao for his system to work? I know the way Leao plays. If we don't play to his strengths, he's going to stink. And Nkunku, same thing. If we don't play to his strengths, he could also stink. And also, something people don't factor in, these players are going to take time to adapt to the Prem. They're going to have bad games.
Of course.
But what Chelsea fans don't do that. These players will have a few bad games, they'll have a few stinkers, and all of a sudden everyone will get on their case. They did the same thing. They did it last season with Saul after his first bad 45 minutes against Aston Villa. They did it to Lukaku when he had his first bad, like, mini purple patch. This was before the interview, by the way. And also, no one wanted Lukaku, so they didn't give him the chance. They did it with Ziyech. Did it with Pulisic. They did it with Morata after he came back from his injury and he wasn't playing well. These guys, our fan base as a whole, we don't give players time. We don't, like, say what you want about Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans and United fans, but they will defend their flops. I still hear United fans defending Martial to this day. There are still Liverpool fans that defend Naby Keita. Up until this summer when he left, there were still Arsenal fans defending Nicolas Pepe. These guys will defend their players.
Played for Arsenal, actually.
At least publicly anyway. These guys will defend. We don't do that. We are the first ones to sell players down the river. And I know people will say I'm being hypocritical, but at least, like, I banter these guys as a laugh amongst you guys. But in public, when I'm actually on streams with other rival fans, I've defended Mendy. I've defended Koulibaly. I've defended these players who haven't performed well and said, well, there's kind of context. We can't just say that they're bad. But Chelsea fans won't do that. I'll be watching streams and Chelsea fans will be saying, "Oh no, but Jorginho's shit anyway," and there'll be rival fans saying, "Oh, but Jorginho's not actually that bad. Oh, well, this guy's not actually that bad. That guy's not actually that bad." Our fans, we will sell our own players down the river. We won't give them time. We will give them constant abuse, and then we wonder why. And then we wonder why these players do badly, and we wonder why they want to leave. I don't blame Pulisic. Write the book all you want, expose what's going on. I don't blame you because you're right. I don't blame any of these players for wanting to leave. I don't blame them for not caring because you're right. You have a right to.
So like on the Nkunku stuff, right? I think I'm hoping that with the new regime that we have going on, it is the beginning of a rebuild, and that we maybe not right now. Maybe Nkunku doesn't fit the system right now, but I do think that I'm hoping that Bowley and the staff that he's bringing in, and even Potter's staff to a certain extent, I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a process of rebuilding, not just scrapping the whole thing and starting from youth, not just throwing a bunch of big name players on the pitch, but integrating a little bit of experience, a little bit of a big name player with also a hybrid of having some youth players, the Chalobahs, the Reece James, Lewis Hall, who's now been promoted to the first team, getting something going, a bit of a project that we can lean on going forward and work towards as we slowly start to get some of these players out, like the Jorginhos, the Kovacic's, and the Kantes and all that, because that's another thing too. We do have to work a lot on that midfield. But as for the Nkunku stuff, I don't think anything's been confirmed yet, at least by Fabrizio, but it's looking very likely that we're about to close the deal with Nkunku before the January transfer window. I don't think he's going to come in January. I believe he's going to come in the summer, but we'll see what happens. But it seems like everything is pretty much settled and ready to go. We're just waiting for final contract negotiations on Nkunku. And whether Nkunku is the solution or not, I don't think he is, but I think he's going to be part of it. Let's go ahead and talk about Skriniar. There are rumors relating to our boy Skriniar from Inter Milan. Let me go ahead and share the screen with you guys. Nope, I fucked it up. There you go. I did a good job. I'm so good at this, guys. All right. Anyways, Skriniar. Coming from Simon Phillips again, very popular guy during this World Cup right now. Inter Milan are trying to extend Milan Skriniar's contract, which currently ends in the summer, and Chelsea are sensing a potential opportunity and monitoring the situation as they still have him on their radar. There's more down here. I'm sorry, guys. Chelsea still have him on their radar. Two sources have once again told me this recently, and that he has become an option once again. Now, if I remember correctly, guys, Skriniar, is he a winger? No, Skriniar's not a winger. I'm thinking about the other guy. Yeah, center back. All right, thank you. Yeah. Yes,
I'm thinking of the center back.
For some reason, whenever I see
if it's a center back we're thinking of, Skriniar, that center back, I don't want him. Like,
tell me,
just because he hasn't really been, like, how old is he? Like 32.
Yeah,
he's around 32 anyway. Like, and he's never been at a big club, and he's just, I don't know. It's just like I have seen little bits of him. Like, what?
Inter Milan are a big club.
Well, okay, they're a big club in history, but they're not like being that big. Well, okay, they have won the league a couple of seasons ago as well, I guess. So I'm kind of mudding myself a little bit here now, but because they have been doing well in the Italian league lately. But I don't know, like, I don't think I'd want him at Chelsea. Like, I don't think it'd be working out with it. Like, we got Koulibaly in, he's around the same age. We've got Fofana in, a young centre back, and we got Thiago Silva's on his way out. But I don't want to
replace him for Thiago Silva.
I don't want to keep staying at back three, and I don't think it suits Koulibaly too. I think we need to go to a back four, and then Fofana and Koulibaly should be it really, but. We should be looking at midfielders as well. Maybe it's not really on, like, I don't know. Maybe it's not really him. It's just maybe not me wanting another centre back and just wanting a midfielder to help our depth and more attackers like Liao and obviously Nkunku's coming as well. I want like that. I don't want to keep adding more to centre backs. It's just.
I don't know.
No, but you say more centre backs. How many centre backs do we actually?
Chalobah.
We don't have many centre backs.
Chalobah.
We only have Fofana, Koulibaly, and Chalobah. Thiago Silva doesn't count because he's gone by
He's
the
got
end of the season.
he's got to be gone soon, like even next
Yeah,
season.
so we only have 3 centre backs.
Yeah, for back. If I don't want to keep staying this back 3, man.
Bro,
If we
I
play-
don't. Even if we're playing a back 2, we only have 3 centre backs. Fofana's injury prone,
Yeah, he is looking injury prone because of Leicester.
so we have no one else. Like, I don't see the problem. Like,
I don't know
is
why
it
he won,
is the report saying it's either Skriniar or Gvardiol, or is it both?
Well, we'll get to Gvardiol, but yes, he is also on the radar for Chelsea.
Cool. I just like
He's not
Koulibaly
He's
hasn't
been out
adapted
for a
well,
while.
and I'll be honest with Fofana, he's looking like a bit of a flop thus far. Like, I always give players the first season, but he's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, when he has played, he hasn't been looking too good. But to be fair to him, he is recovering from a leg break last season, so I do give him a little bit of slack. Also, the player I keep getting, I don't know why, so I always get Skriniar confused for Çalhanoğlu. I don't know why. It's very strange. But yeah. I can't speak much on Skriniar. I don't watch enough Skriniar to have an opinion really on him. If he's a good center back, and if people tell me he's good, and he is playing for Inter Milan, which, I mean, say what you want about Inter this season, regardless, they have been a pretty decent club in recent history. So, I mean, if this is what Potter wants, it's not my first choice, but if he plays well for Chelsea, then I can't speak much. But also, I have a little bit of PTSD. I'm not gonna lie about.
It's depending on how much he is as well.
Yeah, it does depend on how much he is, but I also have some PTSD from the Italian league, just because of Lukaku and also because of how Koulibaly's been looking so far. But to be fair, also Fofana's been looking shaky. But Fofana you can forgive because of the leg break. Koulibaly, not so much. I expected him to come ready, prepared to go, and being that experienced player. And Oliver, I don't know why. I don't know why I get him confused. But let's more Chelsea news relating to transfers. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one I want to talk to you guys, which is Denzel Dumfries. Why not? Dumfries. Let's go ahead. We're back to Denzel Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries tells David Ornstein on Chelsea links. Of course, it's a big compliment to be linked with Chelsea, but playing for Inter, it's a big compliment too. Chelsea move in January. I'm focused on nothing else but national team and Inter. He tells The Athletic. So, as of right now, it seems that he's flattered that Chelsea are coming for him. If there are links, and if Chelsea really are, I'm sure he probably at the right price, would probably be willing to come to Chelsea. I think he would be a decent backup for Reece James. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, we'll see, right? I don't know. Do you guys still rate Dumfries? Would you want him at Chelsea as a backup for Reece James?
Do you know the way Dumfries plays? Do you know what his play style is like?
Back post merchant, according to some friends.
Okay, cool. No, he saw
that firsthand against ewis.
No, but I also watched him at Inter Milan. He does that as well. That's cool. I kind of like the way he makes those like late man runs into the box and stuff, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
But when you watch, like I watch Inter Milan play, the delivery from that left-hand side comes from more often than not DiMarco or Gossens. They're brilliant deliverers of the ball. Whichever pretense that should be. Look at Holland. They've got Dale Blind, one of the best deliverers of a ball from the left-hand side. Who do we have at Chelsea to deliver a ball like that into him?
Reece. But not from the left-hand side. I mean, left-hand side, you probably
no
would say Chilwell when he's at his best, when he's not been that.
Okay. So no one.
Yeah, no one really.
Cool.
Marcos
I
Alonso.
don't. It's not really going to be. It's not the best. Like again, if we're making signings, needs to like be. Needs to be logical and make sense. I don't think this signing makes sense. But again, I'm not saying like I don't even like him, but to get the best out of him and his strengths, I don't think we'd be utilizing him properly. So, be a waste.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just think as a backup to Reece, I wouldn't mind it, but you're gonna call me biased here. I think there's potential and growing room if we were to get on a lower fee too, because I think Dumfries is gonna be expensive as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he's gonna come cheap. You want a player that's gonna come cheap? I really think Serginho Dest could get a good shout. I'm gonna be propping Dest. Look, I'll admit he had a okay semi bad game against the Netherlands, but at the end of the day, he had moments, but he was not.
He didn't know how to let go of that ball.
Yeah, I agree. Serginho Dest is 22 years old. He's got potential. He's got a high ceiling. He can get into the attacking third. He just can't do well with it. And he has defensive ability, as we've seen. It's just, he's young. I don't expect him to be. Reece James is what, the same age? 23? Younger?
22.
Is Reece James younger?
I'm pretty sure.
The same age. Same age. 22.
Sure?
They're both 22. Yeah.
Oh, if we said Dest is 23.
Yeah. No, 22.
Oh.
So that being said, like, as a backup to
actually.
Reece, to learn off of Reece, to learn off of our attack and all that, he'll become better. And I think he'd be a decent backup. This is my argument for Serginho Dest. I don't know if you agree with that, Prime, because I know you also have an opinion on Dest.
Dest is good going forward. He's not the best defensively.
He did well this World Cup, though, except for Holland.
But who has he faced? He's faced Ireland, Wales
England,
don't have a left wing.
Raheem Sterling.
England. Okay, let's not talk on that fish and chip merchant. England aren't that great, and Holland.
It's Raheem Sterling, though.
Okay, England aren't that great, and Holland don't even have a left wing. Like, again, I'm not even saying he's bad. I'm not even saying I wouldn't take it, but like, I think it's very hard to speculate on players and look at who we should or shouldn't buy when we don't even know what Potter's style of play is. I think it's very difficult.
That is fair. I agree with that.
Because when you look at Dest and you look at Dumfries, they're two very different profile of fullbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like
they are very.
We can't really make that, regardless of who people think is better or worse. But we can't really say who we should bring in when we don't even know what our style is. So
yeah, I just think that I see Reece James' profile in Dest, meaning like how he moves with the ball up the field and defensively as well. Obviously, he's not as good physically, defensively, or even attackingly. I mean, Reece is better in just about every single category. But I see the potential as a backup. Again, as a backup, I think he could suit that role. We'll see. But you're right, Prime. We also don't really know much about Potter's system. So it's really, really, really tough to even establish anything. But Real Chris, we'll catch you later. Let's go ahead and let some of you guys in the call-ins in. If you do want to come into the chat and have a say about anything we're going to talk about and things we talked about, go ahead and hit that link at the top of the description and come be a part of the discussion. Also, if you haven't already, smash the like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on our way to 1,500 subs. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss our future streams. We'll be doing more streams in the future regarding the World Cup and Chelsea players in it still. And check out the links in the description. Leave a comment, do all that fun stuff, guys. It all helps out the channel. But Abs, Oliver, welcome back, guys, to the channel. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and discuss the next topic, which I think is going to be a hot topic for us.
Here, man.
The box. This is the same brother who seems to think the flipping back ewis is the best thing since R9.
When did I say that?
This guy.
All right. Listen,
I'm a Batshuayi stan. I'm not.
You know what? Hey, listen. After Lukaku's performance, Belgian fans probably think that.
Hold on, Abs. Am I the same guy that says I want to get rid of everyone in the squad? Who's in the squad? Pulisic. Hold that.
There's a lot to get rid of. There's a lot to get rid of.
Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're saying? You want to get rid of Reece?
Hey, listen. If Fat Boy doesn't stay fit, then he might as well.
This guy, he's obese Reece. All right, let's move on to the next topic real quick, and then we can continue on.
I love that slander. I'm sorry, but I love that slander name. I love it.
It is one. It is good. It is good. I'll give you that. But listen. Listen.
Yeah, Fat Frank. Yeah, let's go, man.
This next one is exciting for me because after seeing how he's playing in the World Cup, I'm convinced, and this guy is my first choice. Let's talk about the myth, freaking Joško Gvardiol. Let's fucking go, yo. This guy can come to the club any day. Anyways, Chelsea is a big club. Maybe one day I will be there, tells Gvardiol to The Athletic and David Ornstein. My agent is taking care of my future. I'm happy at Leipzig now. It's nice to see the links, especially because there is Kovacic. So you never know. Listen, Kovacic, my dude. I'm just saying. Let him. Let's let Kovacic talk, please, because if you want to persuade him to come to Chelsea, tell him that London is a great city.
We better cheer him up first.
Gvardiol. Yeah, we should cheer him up actually first. Yeah, we should. But listen, tell him that they won't judge you if you run around the pitch naked, half naked, and that'll convince Gvardiol to come through. All right. But what do you guys think, man?
Wait, why do you want to see him naked?
Huh? I don't say I want to see him naked, but maybe that's something that will convince Gvardiol. I don't know.
Prem, broski, listen. I don't know what to say anyway. But
that's what Marshall said.
Brother, listen. That's just some wild thoughts, bro. You need to go.
That's what. Hey. Don't blame. Don't say it's my thoughts. I'm not like you and Barkley. That's what Marshall said.
You know, listen, broski. If from a guy who disrespects a club legend and calls him fat, that's when I bow.
Wait. Reece James is not a club legend yet.
No, I think he's talking about Fat Frank.
Frank. Well, how is Fat Frank a club legend? What, getting top 4 makes him a legend?
Frank.
Oh my days, this guy. You are shameless. Frank.
Listen, Frank Lampard, regardless of manager or not, is a legend because the guy has scored more goals.
Abs. One. First of all, not my legend. He's yours. 2, I'm talking about him as a manager. As a manager, he's a bum. As a player, Lampard, amazing, all of that. You know, not better than John Obi Micheal, but whatever, amazing player. But as a manager, he's a bum.
This man said not better than John Obi Micheal.
You know what's funny? Balak is over in a minute, but that's not that's not what we're talking about.
Balak. Oh no, yeah, Balak is better than Frank. That's obvious. But anyway.
No, Balak's my favorite choice, man, innit? So I'll write it down.
Yeah, no. Balak's not better than Jorginho.
You like the Germans, Av. You like the Germans, bro.
Balak's not better than Jorginho. Nah, broski, listen. Everyone knows my favorite player is cover, innit? So I need cover.
Tell that fat German to put his Ballon d'Or placement on the table, man.
Oh, good. Prem. Please, leave a retired man to sleep in it. Leave him.
Yeah, exactly. And don't let me get onto that fraudulent Brazilian you support as well.
Oh my God, Prime, allow me, man. Can I get a word in?
No.
Let's bring it back to Gvardiol, guys. Bring it back to Gvardiol.
Gvardiol, let's do it.
Everyone knows, right? So, Cover's my favorite player, right? And I need Cover to do a little thing for me. Basically, go chat to him, tell him, listen, we've got an all-time great centre-back now. Literally, this guy's a legend. Clear of that Van Disney brother who plays up in Liverpool. Clear of all these guys. Clear of that flipping bandana merchant who was at Madrid. Yeah, I don't even need to say his name.
Yep.
Best centre-back of this generation. You can be his replacement. Think about all the top centre-backs. Because you see what it is, right? We may have had some stinky strikers and that might tempt strikers not to come. But when it comes centre-back, even like this, man, I had Carvalho. Man, I had flipping Terry. Man, I had Desai. Yeah. We've had some howlers like David Luiz and Gary Cahill.
Hey,
David Luiz a howler? What?
Yeah, David Luiz was a howler.
Oh my God!
You could argue.
I respectfully disagree.
No. Who else have we had? We've had top centre backs at the club. Alex, who could strike a free kick like it's nothing.
Wait. Should you put Carvalho in that conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I was just checking. I
was saying Cahill. I don't think Cahill was a flop.
No. I said we've had a couple of howlers in Cahill and Luiz. Not that they're bad players, they're just a bit overrated, isn't it? But you see,
Cahill and Luiz are bad players, but you rate Carvalho. Never mind. Continue.
What?
No, you're cooking, man. Keep going.
Cooking, man. You think Carvalho's a shit defender?
Hey, I never said that. You did, but cook, man. Keep going.
No, you didn't. What? Carvalho's a club legend. You know,
keep cooking, man. Keep cooking.
Gvardiol.
All right, listen. So this Gvardiol, think about it like this, man.
Hey, Fat Frank, walk powerfully. Hey,
Prime, listen. Can you relax for 1 second, please? Let me finish, and then you can speak. Okay, so with this Gvardiol, brother, deep in like this, when it comes to centre backs, we've very rarely missed when it comes to centre back. They've all slapped. the majority of them. And it could be an opportunity where like I can join a long list of legendary centre backs, not just for Chelsea, not just for the Premier League, but for football in general, innit? And young, it's an exciting project. Like, obviously, we know that Koulibaly is not going to be here too long because he's a bit older. So Fofana and Gvardiol in the future, Reece, Fofana, Cucurella, Gvardiol, that's a solid backline.
Yeah.
Who's saying no to that? Or Chile instead of Cucurella?
Holy shit, Gvardiol is only 20 years old. That's
Yeah.
absolutely nuts.
That's the big appeal of it.
Exactly, that's
Bro,
youth. And listen,
you
and
need
don't
to
listen
fix up. You look way too old, Gvardiol, but go.
Now listen, don't even listen to the comment section say about flipping Levi Cole and all that.
Oh
Because
god.
Wait, Abs, I thought you liked common players, no?
Oh man, listen, Prem.
No,
listen.
I'm not even trolling. I actually thought you did.
Prem, look, there's a difference between. Okay, hear this. I don't hate him. I just don't overrate him. I think he's a decent, talented player. I'm not saying he's like flipping next level like the comment sections were saying, but he's also not. He's not an overrated. He's not an overrated Englishman. That's what I'm saying. And he's got talent, but he's just not like next level in it. That's my point.
Okay, cool.
Is he talking about that fella that, see, this is how irrelevant he is to me because I never rated him to begin with. Who's the guy that went to Brighton?
Yeah, Cole.
Colwell.
Oh, he's talking about Cole. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Cole.
that was a
That
comparison
guy.
one day.
That guy.
Yeah,
That guy.
the light skin John Terry.
Oh my days! Listen, I rate this guy. I see it now. I've actually never actually properly taken a chance to look at him, but this World Cup when I have seen Croatia play, bro, this man is a wall. And listen, I know we don't rate Lukaku on this channel, but that game against Belgium, he had Lukaku on lockdown. Had Lukaku
The last tackle at the end.
Bruh, oh my God, he had Lukaku so frustrated. Lukaku punched a wall.
But let's be real. Like, does that really count?
Yeah, it does.
What do you mean?
Look, as much as you don't rate Lukaku,
Hey,
Lukaku's a striker.
Marshall,
He's a good striker.
Marshall, don't say me, because I was the one last season saying, regardless of his interview, this guy needs to play because he's the only one I trust with goals. So don't say me, but this whole fan base calls him a, quote, cement-booted donkey.
That's not what the whole fan... No, not the whole fan base.
Okay, cool. Okay, you guys. No, my point is, people don't rate Lukaku. So I don't think. Again, I'm not saying. Again, I'm not even saying that Gvardiol is not a great centre back. I do rate him, but let's not use Lukaku to judge him.
I thought Lukaku was your guy. You was calling him R9.
He's better than the guy. Wait, hey, Abs. Has your R9 won the Serie A? No. So
listen, he's not my R9 anyway. He's
Okay. So let's not use Lukaku
saying.
as the measuring stick. Then
even so, with Lukaku, you have to respect what he's done for Belgium. Okay, he's a good striker. He doesn't. He flopped for fucking. He flopped. He's Belgium's all-time scorer.
Marshall, that's fine. But when I hear people saying Lukaku's he's a bomb, he's this, he's that, yeah, that's fine. Then don't use Gvardiol to judge him against. Use other.
Yeah, but I don't. That's the problem. That's why I use it because I rate Lukaku regardless.
There's a problem with Lukaku. He is literally when people saying,
Abs, I agree. Abs, that's fine.
Let Abs land. Let Abs land. Let Abs land.
Finish. Lukaku is literally when people's calling him big 4-4 no safety. Legit, this brother.
Oh my!
He's not a big 4-4. He's an RPG, SGR, RPG small game Romelu. That's what he is. Small game Romelu. In the big games. Small
SGR.
game.
No, but Abs, that's fine. Again, cool, agreed. Then why are we using Gvardiol to judge how good he is? Or are we using
because
Romelu?
I don't think Lukaku's as much of a bum as we'd like to believe at Chelsea. I know it didn't work out at Chelsea. But yeah, I know it didn't work out at Chelsea, but I think that's a lot more his mentality of not wanting to even be there to begin with than it is actually his performance.
Blame mentality. Don't blame Havertz and Mount.
Oh well,
I mean that's part of it too. Sure, why not?
Let's take the conversation.
Go ahead, Oliver.
Let's take the conversation away from Lukaku then, because we're clearly not going to get anywhere doing this.
Yeah.
Let's just look at it from this perspective. We're talking about a 20-year-old high-rated centre back who can play left of a 4, left of a 3, and left back as well. And with the logic people use of the Bundesliga being an easy league for attackers because of spaces, reverse logic works for a centre back because if you can defend spaces well, then you must be amazing. So, I see no downsides here. You know, if we can negotiate a good fee, then I'm not going to say no whatsoever.
Yeah, look, I don't even care what the fee is. I think we should really get this kid at Chelsea. I think he's really talented. Obviously, it's going to take some gelling time and adapting time, but for me, Gvardiol is I want to see how he plays against what's the next game he's playing? It's not Morocco anymore. It's oh my days. My brain is gonna fucking
Croatia
explode.
are facing. Bear with me. Croatia are facing Japan tomorrow.
I mean, okay, maybe that's not the best measurement either, but I also am not gonna underestimate Japan. We'll see how Gvardiol holds down the fort against Japan. But look, he's having a really good World Cup. I'm really enjoying watching him play. And I really see this guy being potential as being one of the world's best center backs if he keeps it up at like this, for real. I mean, I already rate him more than Van Dijk right now. So that's just, I'll just put that out there.
But Van Dijk's a dumb anyway. Van Dijk's another overrated guy that Liverpool fans tried convincing us was the second coming of flipping Maldini.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Hey, okay. How tall is he? How tall is he?
6'1".
6'1", yeah.
Not gonna lie, I thought he was blame Georgina for his stripping sessions, man. Okay, cool. Not okay, I thought he was a bit shorter, not gonna lie. Okay,
no, he's pretty big.
I still think we're gonna need to find a partner with him because like I can't trust Fofana to stay fit, and even when he plays, like he's being a bit suspect. And I don't rate Chalobah enough to be the starting centre back. So I think he's still going to need a partner.
No, but to be fair, Cam, I'll be real with Fofana. Fofana's not, from the games he's played, the only game which I thought he was a bit sus in was probably the Zagreb away game. I know he made a mistake in the Palace game when we lost, when we won 2-1. But if you actually go watch it back, he was actually quite good. Fofana's not had terrible overall on the pitch performances. He just had a moment where he's not been that good.
Yeah, just bad moments. Yeah, I can agree with that.
It was such a shame as well because he scored that goal at Milan, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the confidence going to come in now, and he gets injured. So just a shame on that one. Hopefully, it can be better when he comes back.
He was playing well for his school. Him and Reece was keeping it out quiet.
Yeah, I know he was, but I thought, okay, after that goal, it's going to go up another level, and then he gets injured. So that's just a shame.
Yeah, for real. We can only hope he gets better. But now, when it comes to centre backs, I'll be real. I kind of understood where Tuchel wanted to get 3 centre backs from because it's obvious. Let's be honest, right? The rivals aren't here. We don't have to push the Thiago best centre back in the world agenda. Let's be honest. For his standards, he's not been as good as what we've normally seen from him. Now he's slightly dropped off, which is fine because he's a bit older and you can't really blame him in it, and he's not really got much protection to work with. So,
I guess I can agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I mean,
you're missing the point. I'm not saying Silver's shit. I'm just saying.
No. I hear what you're saying. I don't.
It's not an agenda, though.
I think he's made. No, I hear what you're saying. I think he's made. You could arguably say one mistake, which I don't even think that's necessarily his fault for anyway. I don't think he's dropped off. I just think our defense is much worse because of everyone else.
Yeah, it's measurably worse. You can look at the stats.
Yeah, but Silva has still performed.
No, Silva's performed. I'm not saying Silva's been bad. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I get
compared
that.
to the shit we've seen from Silva the last couple of years, where this guy was like literally strikers will be running the other way when they're coming against him. It's more of a case of he's not been that Silva in it, and I think
I think part of it. My bad, brother. I think part of it is also that I think one, we're not resting Silva. 2, the defense, like these guys have said, the defense has been a little less as good as previous seasons, maybe because of gelling and all that. But I think the other part of it too is that when you look at the overall sample size for Silva this season, I think Silva's had to do a lot more work this season than he's had to do in previous seasons when it comes to freaking watching the midfield's back and being exposed constantly. Like, we were a lot more solid in the midfield in previous seasons than we were this season. That's just a factor. I think you can't not look at that.
Which is where for me, I personally think that for as bad as the attackers are, and don't get it wrong, I'm not trying to say these attackers are world class. Really not. These attackers, I swear to God, I watch some of them sometimes,
and I have a 4-year-old brother, and this guy laughs at them as well when they start messing up on the pitch. That's how bad it is. And he's better than pretty much all of them from what I've seen. But we have to be real. We're spending all this money on attackers because we spent like 500 M's on attackers the last few years. And we've not signed a senior midfielder since 2019.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's why.
Don't worry about that though, because that's going to be addressed. Like every single reliable source has said we're going for a midfielder in January and in the summer. So that's not anything to worry about in the short term.
It's a type of it. So, for example, now I'm not necessarily saying. You see when I come with the Jorginho thing, it's mainly banter because he's Pam's favorite player in it. But
he's not my my favorite player is Didier Drogba, man.
None of your favorite player from the
current squad.
Oh, currently. It's first is Thiago. No. I wasn't. Don't do that. Don't do that. I heard the. No. First is Thiago Silva, and second is Reece James. So.
All right. So Jorginho's third. He's got a guilty pleasure for Jorginho. I know this.
No, Jorginho's not third actually.
All right. Who's third?
Cucurella.
I don't have a third.
Oh really?
Okay.
No.
But yeah, on Silva. Yeah.
No, but here's the thing though. So my thing is that now, what's it called? Whether or not you rate it, I just think it's got to a point where we've got a lot of these guys. They're on the wrong side of 30. Now, Kante, the injuries have just taken it. They've taken the toll on him. Just move on.
Unfortunately,
too much money. He's a club legend. I love the guy to pieces. He's a beautiful, beautiful little man.
No.
He is a club legend. Don't do this. But
no, I said no to the beautiful man thing. But if you don't think he's a club legend, then that's fine.
No, I do think he's a club legend. Massive legend.
Man.
I'm just saying that.
Prime trolling right now. Yeah.
No, but for me now, I'd get rid of Kante and Jorginho this summer. Just let them go. We need some fresh blood in there. Now we've addressed all these areas. Depending on what happens with Cover, Cover's my favorite player. That's my guy. I love Cover to pieces. But if his availability doesn't improve and his contract does expire next summer, then not that I'm not actively pushing for him to go, but I wouldn't cry if he doesn't get a new deal. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't cry if any of the players don't get a new deal, to be honest, because I'll be so real. The only irreplaceable player we've got is Reece James. No one else is irreplaceable.
He's locked up as well, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, now half these guys, I've seen better players leave this club for absolutely nothing when they probably could have still done a job for us. I'll be real.
Yeah.
So if any of these guys leave, I don't care at this point in it. They've not performed. Most of them aren't good enough. There's a couple that I keep, but honest to God, literally one guy who I would be gutted about if he left. Everyone else, they left. It's nothing in the world, man.
I can agree with that. My only difference would be is that I would probably try to get rid of Kante in January, not even wait till the summer. But that's the only. I think we pretty much agree 100% on that. Yeah, we'll see. But real quick, I just want to move on to we are talking about the midfield. I might as well bring this up as well, and this will be our final talking point for the show today. Is chasing Bellingham and Rice. Yes, there's more rumors. Let's go ahead and get into it. Chelsea will bid big for Bellingham, but they are not favorites to sign him. They will match any bid that is made for Bellingham, but the move won't just come down to money. This is coming from Matt Law from the London is Blue podcast. More news here. West Ham are preparing to sell Declan Rice for around £70 million. Rice will definitely leave West Ham this summer. There are two Premier League clubs ahead of Chelsea at the moment who have made big plays to sign Rice. And then last but not least here, Rice discussing pretty much Declan Rice. I feel like I really want to keep pushing. I see my friends here who are playing Champions League, winning the big trophies. You know, you only get one career. West Ham are re-signed. Wait, what? Is this even right? Resigned to losing Rice in 2023. And I just want to see what he has to say comments wise.
It's basically the quote that he just said in the top.
Yeah,
it's to that effect. So that is what it is.
Yep. I see. I hear it now. But what are we thinking on this? I mean, personally, I'm kind of happy that there are other clubs ahead of us going for Rice. I don't really rate Rice that highly. I do like Bellingham a lot. I think today, even at the World Cup, he had a brilliant game. I think he's got a lot of potential. I will say I would pay about £100 for him if that's the price we got to pay. I do think this kid is worth it. I think he's talented enough. I think he merits it. I would do it. That's just me though. But I wouldn't get them both together. I don't think Rice is. I just don't like his. I think he's a good DM. I just don't like his profile at DM. I'd rather have a Bellingham. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I mean, I go the other direction with it. He's not a DM. Like we need to get this idea out of our heads. Yes, he plays in a pivot at West Ham. Sure, he's a 6. Yeah, but he drives forward. He has good dribbling stats. That's his main attribute. His attribute is dribbling. He can get out of tight spaces. He can often. When West Ham needs something, he can push forward and be another option. I don't see him as a DM. And watching England today, and through the whole tournament as well, he hides from the ball. And if we're going to be paying big money for this guy as a Premier League proven player as well, there is no time for adaptation and for coaching. You have to come in and do your thing immediately, especially with how dire the situation of our midfield is. So I want a player ready-made. And if Rice isn't that, then he's not for me.
No, but even with Rice, is the problem. The thing is with Rice is, I look at him as someone in it, and I do think people go extreme in both directions in it. People take it over the top when they're overrating him, and it's obvious because the fan base. I've never seen a fan base actually back a rival player more than some of their
a rival captain.
A rival captain. Now, listen, people forget that West Ham are ups, bro. East versus West is a big derby, so
yeah.
Rice, Rice is a good player. His issue is
from
the ball. He's a good ball winner. He's got a breaking up play. He can screen your back four. He can do all of that. But my thing is with Rice is if you're gonna play him, and this is why you've probably seen the thing that when, especially against America, when they played him, Bellingham, and Mount, and none of them was trying for the ball.
That was shocking.
It did not work. Whereas if you play Rice next to someone like a Calvin Phillips or someone of that profile, like what you get with City, where Rodri, he plays there, he cleans up everything. He's good on the ball, but then you have Bernardo who drops deep and helps to start attacks and shit and start going for where they're going through, innit? So you need to pair Rice with someone who's more technically secure to get the best out of him, innit? So he can sit, but it's effectively like someone drops deep to help start up attacks because he can pass a bit. He's not a terrible passer of the ball. He can pass from deep, but he's not someone where I'm going to show for the ball and I'm going to start attacks from deep. That's not his profile. So if we get him, I need someone who's got a bit more like, who's more of a specialist on the ball, which is why Rice and Jorginho could work in theory, but I just think...
I think it could, yeah. I mean, we saw Jorginho and Zakaria in the Champions League, and whatever you want to say about Zakaria, them two did have a bit of a thing going in that game. And Rice, by all accounts, is a better player than Zakaria, so that could definitely work, in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
Hassan, what's going on, brother? What do you got to say about Rice and Bellingham?
What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we can hear you well.
Hassan loves Rice. I know he does.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest advocate for Rice, but I feel like with a lot of the issues at Chelsea, I think DM is the biggest issue, and it has been for quite a while. And when a couple of years ago, I wasn't just saying, sign a DM, because I called them people a DM, because I feel like rather than spending 150 on someone stupid as Rice, because that's what his market price was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, yeah.
That was like, I'd rather spend it on 5 different positions than on one guy that we needed the most. And I said it before a couple of years ago, Rice will run down his contract regardless of how long it was, 4 or 5 years. He will run it down to the last year or two, and now look at it, last year or two. And I've always said this, if the West Ham keep outpricing the move, eventually it's going to come to us whether it'll be a free or whether it'll be 30, 40 million next year. The move is inevitable, and whether fans like it or not, I think we can all agree he's coming. It's inevitable. There's no reason why he wouldn't reject a 200 grand a year contract to stay at West Ham.
I agree it's inevitable. It's just that we need a solution Like, if not in January, we need a solution in the summer.
But-
And with Rice running down his contract, that will take 2 to 3 years. So that's the only.
No, he's
stumbling
only
block.
got 2 years left from
Okay,
January
well,
onwards.
it's still 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have 2 years to waste. That's the point.
I mean,
And,
I'm hearing you guys talk a lot about Rice, but I'm not hearing enough about Bellingham. Do you guys not rate Bellingham instead of Rice?
It's not that we hate Bellingham. I feel like the moves with Madrid and Bayern knocking, it's like there's a couple of clubs that he'll go over. I feel like Madrid would get him.
What'd you say, Abs?
Bellingham is a better overall footballer than Declan Rice, but this is going to sound really controversial. Rice is more someone we kind of need. Because let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that Rice is the guy we need to go get, or he's the sole solution. I'm not like these other Chelsea fans who think this guy is clearly with English passport, bro. Don't worry about that.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
Continue. Just have it right.
You broke up
Rice got the Rice got the minerals. That's what it is. Jude doesn't.
But it's not even that. It's more like, think about it like this. Whatever you guys think of Kante is the only elite ball winner we've got in the team. And every top midfield needs a good ball winner or someone who does the dirty work defensively and
I
facilitates.
really feel like Jude can do that too. I've seen him do it a lot this World Cup so far.
Yeah, but is Jude really?
Oh yeah. When he chased down someone, and called him a fucking cunt. That was the funniest.
That was brilliant. That was a brilliant clip.
He said that in his accent, bro.
Oh my god,
Brummy accent.
Love it. No, but
You were saying as before I interrupted. Yeah.
You were saying, yeah.
No, but you know, it's with Jude, right? Jude's more of like how do I say this? He's not really disciplined in that way. He doesn't sit like that. He likes to go up the pitch. He can do the defensive side of things, which we all did. Now think about our best ever midfield was when we had Makelele, Balak, and Lampard, or Makelele, Essien, and Lampard. So Makelele sits, he breaks up play, does his thing, starts attack as well. Essien is a ball winner as well, but he does a bit of everything. That's why I think all midfields need. And then you have your third man, who is supposed to be your outlet, your creative outlet, basically.
Yeah. But that's what I would think. That's what I would think the role that Jorginho would fill for Bellingham. Because to me, when we look at profiles, the one closest to like a Kante is probably Jude. I think Jude has the energy to run around the pitch and win the ball back and not have to sit and bring the ball forward. And he can pass. That's the other thing too. The thing that Kante can't do for the life of him is get a pass 9 out of 10 times. This man's passing is been exposed last season for sure.
Kante's passing ain't shit, but it's just not elite.
It's not consistent.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't like Kante comparisons and all this chat about trying to replace Kante because it's just not going to happen. You don't find players every 2 years that have 6 lungs like Kante does. It's just not possible. He's a very unique player, and it will stay that way. It's just not realistic that we're going to replace him. And if we're trying to model ourselves off a Liverpool or a Manchester City, they win titles without Kante. Why shouldn't we?
And the thing is though with Jude and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of clubs after him, and Todd Bowley's going to have to break the bank to get someone like him. And knowing Bowley, he'll definitely going for him. He loves these young superstars, and the thing is though, like, we're gonna also, as mad as it sounds, he's only 19 years old. And as mad as what I'm going to say is, and this goes against everything that I've ever said, I think he's going to be offered 300k. Think about it. Real Madrid after him, Bayern after him. We're going to have to do what we did with Timo Werner, offer him, match them kind of wages. And it's going to be mad. And knowing
the report did say the report did say that it wasn't just down to money being offered to Dortmund. So there are other factors, as you say. The money the wages will probably definitely play a part.
That's a bad player, right? Enzo is a baller. Enzo and Florentino is one of the most underrated pivots in world football right now. If you know about Florentino Luis, this guy, everything that people say Rice is, Florentino is, and it's probably just as good.
And with the whole things about Rice as well, my only criticism is, I know we're gonna ask him to straight, but recently at West Ham, I think everyone knows he tries to do a ball carrying and tries to do the progressiveness, and let's just say that his ball carrying and progressiveness is as good as Ross Barkley's. It's not going to end well if we end up playing. So, like even statistically.
Which is why I rate Bellingham
that's
better
quite
in that
harsh. I
aspect.
mean, if you look
I don't
at
know about
Rice's, if you look at Rice's dribbling stats, the only midfielder who's better at dribbling in the league is Kovacic. That's actually a fact.
No. If you look at dribbling, but I'm on about the end product from dribbling.
Oh, right.
That's a different start, because if you go on the actual detailed start, right at the end of it, the progressive pass, dead in the water.
Rice's profile is basically he can do. But the thing is, as I said, if you bring in Declan Rice and tell him, listen, sit, clean up, pass the ball to more technically gifted footballers, then it can work in it. It can work. But if you tell him, but if you tell him to do the whole flipping complete midfielder thing, where you get up and down the pitch and try to shoot the ball and try to do the whole passing thing, which ends up resulting in a hoof, losing the ball, ending up running around like a little road runner for flipping 90 minutes, doing up flipping a dog chasing his tail in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
If you get him to do that, then it'll flop. If you get him to do one specific job, he can work.
You make an interesting point there about like being a complete midfielder, and this is another thing that worries me about this, and it's the English media. Like I listen to a lot of places like talking about him being a complete midfielder, and they want to encourage him to get up the pitch and score goals. But that's not what we need, and you know the way the English media are. They're going to they pile on, and it's just pressure. You know, they want him to become this like Lampard or something. I don't know, and we don't need that. If anything, Chelsea need less attention given the drama we have every season. So that's just something to think about.
You know what it is? It's so stupid when people do the whole complete. Why don't they let these guys just be specialists?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened to specialists?
The problem is because when you get a specialist, it's Jorginho and everyone hates him.
No, but it's not necessarily a Jorginho thing. But now, what's it called? So
I mean, Kante's a specialist, Makelele's a specialist.
Exactly, they're specialists, and everyone and people seem to be fine with them. What's wrong with that? Like, what's his name?
Yeah, I know, but specialists have fallen out of favour. Everyone calls Jorginho niche.
No. You know what it is? Agenda will agenda on Twitter, and
Wait, go on.
No, I was gonna say, even if he does become a specialist, like nobody rates Rice. I feel like a lot of people call him overrated because of his price tag and Sama and the constant links. So regardless whether he becomes a specialist or complete midfielder, people are gonna run their mouths. As long as he does that job, look man, we're starved of midfield, bro. It's like if you deep it though, if Gallagher was a year, Mount was a year and stuff like that, that midfield would be completely dead, like in the water, like muddied. The only reason why we've been carrying for so long is because a couple of Cobham players just fill in that role. They don't do the fantastic job, but they do a half decent job. I know Gallagher got skinned and roasted, but it sounds mad, but we do need these midfielders and we're starved of DMs. But I'm not saying whack anyone in there. I feel like currently, right now, I feel like Rice is the best out of the bunch that we're linked to. I know there's a couple of paper talks, but there's none that as strong.
Hold on, one sec.
Yeah.
Is my man giving Conor Gallagher prop with a straight face?
I didn't give prop, did I? I did say they did do a great job.
Man said Conor Gallagher is someone that we need. Are you sure?
I didn't say that. Wait.
He's coming and done the job. No.
I said we're lucky because they did a half decent job. I did say they did a great job. I know that Conor Gallagher got skinned in a couple of games, but
I don't care if he got skinned, right? And people be like, you don't rate him because he can't do step overs. No. I cannot rate him because the brother cannot complete a basic 5-yard pass. You're a professional footballer in the Premier League and you cannot complete a basic 5-yard pass.
I think it's not just the fact that we've had some Cobham players come in. I think it's also the approach made by our regimes. Like, we could have done with a midfielder in 2021 and Tchouameni was on the market for 30 million. No, let's go and get Saul for a 1-season loan. Same thing this season. We go and panic for Zakaria for a 1-season loan. It's just like it's putting plasters and band-aids over gaping wounds that need stitches and all that sort of stuff. So it just needs to be a change in approach. And
for the next generation of midfielders, we're gonna have to break the bank, and Bellingham has to be one of them. Yeah, whoever gets Bellingham is sorted.
I'm saying.
But I'd like to hope as well that we've just taken Brighton's recruitment staff, and I'll poll all of you guys right now. Who here would have wanted East Basuma in the summer?
Oh, yeah, I would have taken him.
He's good.
I would have taken him.
I would have taken him for the right price.
And right now, we all rate Moise Caicedo, what he's doing at Brighton right now. Where did Brighton get those players? Because if we can get there first, we'll pick him up on the cheap. Maybe not as cheap as Brighton because we're a bigger club, but we'll pick him up on the cheap compared to 150 million Rice and 130 million Jude. And there's a solution there. We have a good player for less money than you could spend, and then you have funds freed up to go to other transfers for more pressing needs.
We've not Sorry, Marshall. I was going to say we've not scouted South American star in a while. Come to think of it.
No,
I
think
we hear the links today.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you hear the links today. I can't remember the kid's name that who you're talking about.
Yeah, for like 15 million or something.
Yeah, and Endrick as well. We're starting to pick that up again, and that's interesting. I mean, Endrick's really expensive, but hopefully we get more than just two of these guys. Hopefully we're looking at a lot more.
We'll see. I do have my reservations on price. So, wow. I do have my reservations on Jude just because of that price tag. It is a hefty price tag. And last time we played a hefty price tag on a young, silky German, he ended up being a little bit of a rough character in the fan base right now.
But I think it's different though, because we bought Havertz with no tactical intentions, whereas with Jude, we got Potter now. We're trying to build towards something. Potter will have more input. I think there'll be a better tactical basis to whatever transfers we make. It's going to be a lot more streamlined like that.
I do believe in the kid. I do think he can do really well at Chelsea. We will see what happens. I mean, you guys all bring up really good points. There are other clubs interested in him, and the price tag is pretty high, and the wage structure, which Hassan, I didn't even think about that. That is a pretty good wage point, and I don't know if I'd bite the bullet on that. But that being said, ladies and gents, it's been a fucking long ass show. We covered a lot of shit that happened in this week at Chelsea because there has been a lot of news, and I think I even missed a few things. But guys, make sure you stick around. I'm sending you over to Sarcasm City. Say what's up to them. Make sure you're coming here. You're letting them know you're coming from the casuals. But you guys been awesome. Thank you everyone who came on today. Oliver, Abs, Hassan, Prime, Winter Surfer, everyone that came on. You guys are the goats. Make sure you're subscribing. Get us up to 1,500 subscribers. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss our next stream, which I don't know when that's going to be. I'll figure that out, but you'll get a notification if you hit that bell notification. Leave a comment down below. Smash the like. You guys already know what to do. Check out the links in the description. Love you guys, and we'll catch you again in the next Casually Chelsea show. Peace and stay casual.